you get 50% off your insurance deductible. Call 626-330-0100, 626-330-0100, or visit activecollisionrepair.com.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. This can be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite, now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. While supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys, they're all over me right now. It's like I'm back in Dayton.
You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm?
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you.
Bing, ba-dum, bum, yeah.
You know what I noticed, Cappy? As we listen to our absurdly long open,
absurdly
is
long.
that you do a hell of a Gruden, and I think at some point during this interview with Sean McVay, who's joining us now, the Rams head coach, as we get ready for Rams-Eagles, you can listen to it right here on the home of the Rams, 710 ESPN. I think you need to do the Gruden voice for him, and he can grade you since he worked for John Gruden many years ago. But before that, McVay, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited for this weekend. What you did last week was awesome for the team, the franchise, the city. But before I get into all that, you know me, McVay. I got to ask you a question that I think is more important even than football, okay?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
How are you cleaning poop diapers during the playoffs? Like, what's going on there at home right now?
Hey, listen, I know my role at home. I'm absolutely secondary. I'm not the head coach. If I need to clean up a poop diaper, I'm ready to roll, and nothing above my pay grade there.
All right, even in the playoffs. See, that's admirable, McVay. I love the fact that no matter what, you're getting ready for these Eagles, right, and Jalen Hurts and these guys. But you know what? If the poop diaper calls, you're ready to roll.
Oh, I'm always ready to go. And my son Jordan is not short on personality when it comes to his diapers.
Okay. Is Jordan going to have a brother or sister anytime soon?
I mean, are you putting that kind of pressure on the man already?
Pressure. He's got the Eagles in the cold weather. He's got to travel across country. That's pressure. This other thing is pleasure.
Damn right. That's exactly right. Now, you know what? The funny thing is I always say yes. Now, I'm not the one carrying them, so Veronica's got to be the one to check that one off. But I think we will look to add another one at the appropriate time. My little guy, he gives our hands are full in a good way with him. So, but yeah, we'll definitely look to try to add to the family sooner than later.
Awesome stuff. All right, Sean. So let's talk about what you guys did last week. I already referred to it. What you guys were able to accomplish with all things considered. Was there ever a moment when you thought to yourself, man, this is a lot to take on? Like, this is a huge undertaking. Like, what was your mindset during that process as you guys were moving from L.A. to Phoenix?
Yeah, I think here's what I would say. I think the first thing is you empathize with the people that this really hits home with the amount of, some of the losses just awful, and then obviously the losses of homes and how many, just things that people have truly lost in a bunch of different areas across the city. And then it really hit home when you're sitting there last Thursday, you're practicing on the field, and you see the smoke off in the distance where a big fire ends up starting in an area that is highly populated with coaches and players in terms of where they live. And, you understand the magnitude of it, but that definitely hit a little bit differently. And then you hear, all right, we're going to have to go to Arizona, and the game's moved to Arizona. And you're displacing all types of coaches and players and making sure they're set up in the right hotels, and then you're traveling the next day. So that was when it hit home. But I would also say this, the way that our organization has handled this, the way that our players, our coaches, I couldn't be more proud. And I thought they represented the right way, and that's something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, and Coach, before we get into the game coming up, one more ridiculously detailed question about last week. The Cardinals organization seemed to be really generous with their facilities, and they sent airplanes. Do the Rams have airplanes? I would think the Rams definitely have airplanes if the Cardinals have airplanes. Or was it that they sent their airplanes because there was such a huge traveling party? How did that all work out?
That's right. Yeah, I can't say enough about, just the gratitude that we have for Mr. Bidwell, his organization. I got a chance to talk with him a little bit last week, but for him to offer up some of their planes because we traveled with such a large party in terms of allowing staff and coaches and players to be able to bring their families, it was an incredible display of service. We couldn't have been more appreciative, and just, the overall just flexibility by our staff. I just can't say enough about it, but Mr. Bidwell was first class and wouldn't have been able to pull off what we did if it wasn't for his hospitality that he demonstrated in a variety of ways.
Yeah. Sean, let's talk about that game, though, for a second before we move on to the Eagles this week. I mean, what your defense has been able to do over time here and get better each and every week. You've held your last 4 opponents to single digits, and it's such a young defense. Like, you've been around now for, 7 seasons. What do you make of this particular group? And you've had a lot of good ones, and just kind of not only their promise moving forward, but what they're able to accomplish right now as such an inexperienced group.
Yeah, I think they've just gotten better and better. I think it's a tremendous credit to our defensive coaches, to the flexibility, the coachability of our players, the approach that they take every single day. We've got a lot of youth on that side of the ball, but these guys are fun to work with. They're coachable. They bring it every day in practice. They're so attentive in meetings, and they have great spirit and competitiveness and competitive stamina on game day. They've been a catalyst for a lot of things that have been right about this football team, and we've got it's a fun group. They energize me, and they've been outstanding, and they certainly delivered in a big way the other night. Coming up with 9 sacks, a defensive touchdown, we'll take that any day.
Yeah, and Coach, I guess maybe it was a little under everybody's radar, and probably not yours, but it seems like after the Super Bowl, when Aaron Donald started to talk about retirement, you guys went into the draft and took 2 defensive linemen in the 3rd round. The following year, this past year, you guys went back into the draft, and maybe I don't have all the chronology right, but you then took 2 guys 1st round, 2nd round. So that's 4 guys, essentially, to replace 1 guy, and maybe it's not position for position, but was that purely conscious that when you guys knew Aaron was thinking retirement, it was 1 guy can't replace him, we better get a bunch of bodies, and that's what's happened here over the last few drafts?
Well, I think the first thing is when you go back a couple years and you're talking about Byron Young and Kobe Turner, and you're exactly right on your on your history. I remember sitting down with Aaron and talking to him about some of the great players that he was playing alongside that we were going to have to part ways with just because of some of the financial situations that we were in. And he said, as long as these guys love football, I'll be ready to roll with them. And so you bring in Kobe Turner, you bring in Byron Young. Those guys are instrumental in a big way. They saw the way Aaron Donald worked and how much, his leadership impacted the group. They just got better and better. And then when you go get Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, the 4 players you're talking about, not to mention Bobby Brown's already in place. You have a Michael Hoyt who's become a really versatile player. I just really am proud of that group. But, yeah, there was an intentionality, but it was really what was best for our team. And, you never replace an Aaron Donald. I mean, when you talk about one of one, I think that term's thrown around loosely. It's not loose to say he's one of one, but I'm really proud of this group. You know, Kobe Turner's leadership, watching the maturity of Byron Young, watching Jared Verse and Braden Fish just come in and get better and better throughout the course of the year. I love what those guys have been about, and really our defensive line and our outside backer group as a whole.
Sean McVay, the head coach of your Los Angeles Rams, getting ready to take on the Eagles in the divisional round. You can catch it right here in your home of the LA Rams, 710 ESPN. I have a question for you, Sean, just about your tenure, right? Like when you think about these 7 years or whatever it's been now, everyone talks about
8
Sean
years.
McVay. What is it, 8 now?
I feel they're dog years. I mean, I'm 38 years old, but I feel like I'm 88.
I mean, I remember when you came in studio when I was doing the show with Keyshawn and LZ, and you were like this young, spry guy. Now you're like this old guy, McVay. Like, what's happening to you here? Like, you're getting old, and I am shortchanging.
I'm still a young, spry guy. Now, you know what? I'll tell you what. Being around these guys, George, this team invigorates me, and really I felt that way last year.
Yeah,
I've loved it. And these seasons, I'll tell you what. Andrew Whitworth has a great line, George, and I love it. This is always a blessing. It's never a burden, and so I couldn't be more grateful. Unfortunately, when you realize the reality of this business, how tough it is, and the changes and things like that occur on a year-to-year basis, you never take for granted what a blessing it is to be in year 8. Being an NFL head coach, living out your dream, and being able to compete in the Final 8 this year, being, our 4th time in 8 years, being in this position, that's something that you're grateful for. And those things don't occur without great people, great players, great coaches, and a great organization.
Well, let me ask you about that kind of, not to make you reflect too far, but just really about how it works now. Like, over time, everyone, came in like, oh, Sean McVay, offensive genius. I think that actually shortchanges you too. Like, I think you've become an incredible head coach, and your involvement as a head coach and a CEO, I would imagine, has evolved over time. You've got this staff that constantly turns over because of the success that you guys have. Like, what have you learned about yourself at year 8, right? That you say to yourself, man, I've had to adapt in this way to allow us to continue to have the sustained success that we're having right now today in 2025.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing. I appreciate you saying it, and I think it is. I think it's continuing to learn and making sure that, when you're a head coach, what's required might not be the same as it was when you first came in. Your job is to impact and help people in situations you're a part of just get better. And so I think because of the trust that I do have in our coaching staff, you can take your hands off the wheel a little bit more. Make sure that you have you're trusting, but you're trusting these guys to do their job, but you're verifying. You're able to be a little bit more connected with the team instead of exclusively just being so heavily involved with the offense, even though that's where your background lies. And I've really gotten enjoyment about being involved in all phases, but more importantly, being a little bit more connected to the total team. I've always naturally, when you're calling plays for the offense, you have a little bit more time with the offense, but it's been pretty balanced. I feel connected with the staff, the players, and that to me has really been fulfilling and gratifying. And and that's what's been really fun, because it's been a little bit different approach than maybe in previous years. It started to tilt that way these last couple of years, and I'm really loving it. And I think the biggest thing is you're surrounded by great people that you can trust, and then you got great players that, man, your goal is saying, man, I just don't want to let them down. I want to do right by them and the people that you love and care about. And when you have that, man, it's easy for your cup to be full.
Coach, I had to go back yesterday and rewatch this Rams-Eagles game from Week 12 because I really forgot about what happened.
Why would you do that?
Well,
why would you do that?
You know what? Because honestly, like if you looked at the score of 37-20 and you didn't see the game, you might think that it was competitive. The fact is, Cooper Kupp scored a touchdown late in the game to make it 37-20, and then you guys missed the 2-point conversion. But off the top of my head, there was at least 3 times the ball was on the ground. Kyron had 2 fumbles, recovered 1. Matthew fumbled once. The offensive line had a very hard time with Philly's defensive pressure. The defensive line got to Jalen Hurts only 1 time. They didn't have their second-best receiver, and yet A.J. had over 100 yards receiving. And really, it all came down to the running game, where they had over 255 yards rushing, and 2 of those carries were about 140 yards total. So I guess when I look back, I realized they really dominated, and yet I think the Rams are better now. How can this game be different from the last time?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing that you said is we don't put the ball on the ground when we're on the 17-yard line on our fifth play offensively. When we go right down the field, you come away with no points. Here's what it is. It's about playing complementary football. These guys, they do a great job of it. We had cut it to a one-possession game in the third quarter at 20-13, but, we didn't do a good enough job, and it always starts with me. We didn't put the players in good enough spots. And ultimately, then we can execute a little bit better. But here's the thing I love about that game. When you have the right kinds of people, humbling experiences are where real growth ops occur. And that's why we were 5-6. And since then, I think our guys had more intentionality in terms of how we practiced. I think there was a sense of urgency raised from our coaching staff. And I don't think I think that's why we were able to go 5-0 to finish the season. Obviously, we came up short against Seattle when we took a different approach. And then I thought that carried over, being fresh, being ready to go against the Minnesota Vikings. So, hey, we got a ton of respect. But I'll say this, we respect everyone, but we don't fear anybody, and we look forward to the challenge so that I don't have to listen to you read off all those stats you just did.
Well, like you said after the game, we're built for this.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
This is a team that at 1-4, because at 1-4, Coach, you remember a lot of people were are they going to trade Cooper Kupp? Are they going to fire sale this thing?
Are they trading
rebuild?
Matthew Stafford? Don't forget that one that was out there.
That was the discussion back then.
Shoot, hey, you never know, but you know what? I love this group, and we're looking forward to swinging. And I can promise you we're going in there swinging, and we know what a great challenge it is. But here we freaking go.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you about Stafford real quick. And the numbers are wild. Since he's been a Ram, he's 18-3 in December, January, and February. And we know, obviously, the one that culminated in a ring. And again, it's not easy, I think, in sports. I think one of the hardest things to do is coach kind of a, quote-unquote, aging superstar. And, he's on the back end of his career, but yet still unbelievable. When you watch him, I mean, you gave him a week off, and he looked like he was brand new again. Like, what has he done to continue to play at this level and allow you guys to sustain this success and hopefully continue this moving forward?
Yeah, he's a great player. He's an igniter. He elevates everyone around him. I think he's at his best in those most important moments. I think you have to have incredible competitive stamina to be able to sustain a career like he has, to be at his best towards the latter parts of the season when the stakes are the highest. And he loves it. That's why you start off 10 for 10 against an excellent defense last week. Making great decisions, was in complete and total control. And this week, even though it's a little bit different in terms of their approach, this is, you look at the Vikings, one of the best defenses. The Eagles are one of the best defenses too. We relish these opportunities. And when he's at the switch, he gives a confidence to everybody that we have a chance. And I love working with him. He's been outstanding.
Hey, Coach, one time on the radio station, probably about 2 years ago, you were asked if the offense is too reliant on Cooper Kupp. And now we see that Cooper's numbers, especially over the last 5-6 weeks, are down significantly. Is that just the way the game goes, or is that a conscious effort? Because, listen, whether he's catching balls or not, he is participating in helping this team win. I mean, his blocking is outstanding. It's like Hines Ward-esque. So is it circumstantial that he's not putting up the numbers?
Yeah, I think that's a great point you make. He's impacting the game, even though it might not be just illustrated on the stat sheet. And then when you look at it too, Scott, there's a couple of these games where the goal is to play to be able to win the game. And you could say conservative. I thought there was a couple of the games that, we played smart based on the weather in San Francisco. He had a big game against the Buffalo Bills when that was what was required. We didn't throw it as much the other day because once we got up 27-3, we were a little bit limited. But I thought his catch on the go ball versus zero blitz on third down was a huge play in the game. And really, I think it's a credit to, to the offense being able to have a bunch of guys that can step up and make plays. Cooper is still certainly one of them. And we're going to need him to be great to be able to advance to the Final Four against a great opponent this week. But he's impacting the game in different ways, and I'm really proud of him.
All right, and last one for me, Sean, and thank you so much for taking the time leading into this game against the Eagles. Of course, you can catch it right here on the home of the Rams, 710 ESPN. Obviously, defensively, Scott started to allude to it when he was rewatching the game, and you questioned why he was doing that. But, with them offensively, you got to pick your poison. Saquon Barkley's an MVP candidate. Jalen Hurts has won at the highest levels. Like, they've got two guys on the outside that are incredibly explosive. How do you try to mitigate how explosive they can be with those types of guys?
Yeah, you got to pick and choose your spots. You can't have it all those ways. That's what makes them such a great team, such a tough offense to be able to stop. But you have to be able to decide on where the areas of focus and concentration, where are the times that you can earn the opportunity to be able to maybe put the pen back in your hand. But there's a reason why they're a great offense. But we have to be able to play with the fundamentals and the techniques and do the little things the right way. And like I said, it starts with us putting our guys in the right spots and then them being able to go execute. And the enemy has a say, and this group has a bunch of different ways that they can make you pay. But like I said, we're excited about the challenge. We know what it's going to take and what's going to be required, and we have to go do it. And all the talk doesn't really mean anything. But what happens when we kick off at 3 p.m. in Philly, we're about that life, and we're excited about it.
I love it.
I tell you what, man. I tell you what, this Sean McVay, man, he can coach, man. I'll tell you that right now. It reminds me of back talking to his grandpa back down in Dayton back in those days. I'll tell you that right now.
All right. How's Cappy's Gruden? Go ahead.
That's pretty good. I give you that one. I bet you probably do one of me too.
Well, I'm working on you right now. You're very similar.
A little raspier. Raspier.
You and I talked about this last time when we were at the casino last year. Gruden was one of my coaches in college, and I can remember him coming up to me one day and go, Kaplan, I'll tell you something, man. I'll tell you, you were one of the best kickers in college football when I got here, man. What happened to you, man? I'll tell you. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to you, man.
That's pretty. That is pretty good. I've heard his Barstool stuff is pretty entertaining, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. He's funny, man.
He is. He's great. Obviously, he's great at the X's and O's and all that stuff for sure. One last thing we got to let you know because we got to be transparent with you, Sean. So one of our producers here, DeAndre, he's an Eagles fan. So I just wanted to let you know we're all in your corner. But unfortunately, DeAndre is in enemy. He's in enemy territory right now on this show.
Well, that's good. Well, hey, hopefully if I'm sitting here talking to you next week, we can make DeAndre eat his freaking words.
Damn right. I'll tell you what, those words are pretty good, man. Tastes like a Philly cheesesteak with whiz, man.
Oh, man. McVay, you are the best. Best of luck, man. Thank you so much. Good luck. Go kick some ass, man. Thanks again.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, appreciate it, guys.
All right, see ya. There he is, the great Sean McVay with us here.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
See, I don't care who it is, and I don't care what sport it is. Coaches still scare me.
Yeah?
So I like to call Coach. You, on the other hand, refer to him just by his last name. And I'm curious about that.
Yeah? I've always called him that.
I know, but I'm just curious why.
Because they tight.
Because we cool like that.
Nah.
I mean, okay.
You call Riley?
No, but I feel like Sean and I are closer in age. So, like, I feel like, we vibe differently.
Closer in age? You could be his father, for crying out loud.
Really? I would have been his father at 8 years old?
That's right. That's right. You started
You
early.
could be his father.
How old am I? Let's see. How old am I? How old is he? Yeah, I guess maybe.
No, he could be one of your children with your Uber account.
Right. I don't care that he's younger than me. I'm afraid of him, man. I call him Coach.
I need your Uber account, by the way.
And I mean, listen, man. I love. I love that guy. Like,
He's
for me, he could do no wrong. So
he is great. And Laura has been asking me. She's like, "Hey, can I get your Uber account and can I get your Amazon account?"
I'm just saying, everybody else has it.
Right. Ever since I told everybody that my daughters have been abusing my Uber and my Amazon, Laura's like, "What about me, Cap? How come I can't have your
How
Uber
about
and
your
your
girl?
Amazon?"
I'm like a pseudo daughter for you.
Yeah, come on. What's up? Give it to the queen.
Hold on. If you're giving her all your accounts, I need it too, man.
You got the Kaplan and Crew sweater. You're good.
Yeah,
I do got the Kaplan
I know.
Crew sweater. I think it's comfortable too.
He likes it. He got the Cappy Cast hoodie, George.
Yeah?
DeAndre
That's
does.
right. I was
But he don't got that Mishpucha hoodie.
Oh, that's true. I have one of those.
Yeah. That was great. It was great to catch up with Coach McVay.
Yeah, for sure.
Coach McVay.
And John will maintain that Mason is very jealous right now. I don't believe that to be the case.
Oh, I believe it to be the case only because while Mace won't be upset that we got Coach McVay this week, he will be upset that it's like, but it's the playoffs. It's a huge game. They're coming off that big win. I wanted to ask him those questions,
He was not asking about poop diapers to
start. No, he may not have gotten into the details about airplanes and facilities. Leave it to us to handle stuff like that.
I mean, you're an aeronautics guy,
I'm into the details. I'm into knowing people's business. I'm just nosy like that.
Yeah. Speaking of aeronautics, my home away from home, Cappy, I just was there. I just got home from there. From my home away from home, LAX, where changes are arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations, which I used. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. Who doesn't want to get to their flight faster? And a new facility for your friends and family when they come to visit. We'll have all the major rental car brands under one roof. And in the future, if you're local, you don't even need a car to get to LAX. You know why? The People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. So you can take the train to the Metro station right there on Century, and then the People Mover train will pick you up on the Century station, take you right to your terminal. For more information, check out their website, flylax.com for more info. That's flylax.com. We'll come back in just a moment. Let's recap kind of some of the stuff we did with McVay. I want to get into the Lakers last night. Lots of stuff here, 710 ESPN.
And it is a Cosm Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN. Caller number 7 right now at 877-710 ESPN. You're going to enjoy the rivalry matchup, Lakers-Celtics at Cosm LA. You'll enjoy immersive games in the Dome and the wall-to-wall multi-view display in the Hall at Cosm, the ultimate home for basketball fans. Get your tickets now through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. Or you can win them right now. Caller number 7, 877-710 ESPN wins on a Cosm Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text Kettle to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text KETTLE to 321-321. That's Kettle to 321-321.
Hey guys, it's Cap. So you get this letter from the Department of Water and Power with 2 big bold words, high usage. And you don't really know what to do about it, but you kind of have an idea of who you can blame. So you go knock on your daughter's door and you go, hey, would you stop showering for 45 minutes twice a day? And then you go to your son and say, would you please stop washing your car 3 times a week? And then you continue with your life until you get another one of these beautiful letters that says high usage on it. This is where the Water Boy comes in. The Water Boy specializes in pressurized leak detection. All they do, day in and day out, is go to homes and find leaks. Their state-of-the-art equipment allows them to visually and acoustically inspect your pipes to find that stubborn leak that's constantly flowing. It can be anything from a failing toilet to a burst pipe in your slab. You don't even know it existed. They have ample amounts of experience from water damage restoration to general construction and plumbing that, when combined, allows them to master the art of leak detection. They do non-destructive leak detections, which means they're not going to open or damage the structure of your home. Their equipment is advanced enough to listen to the exposed surfaces and indicate where the leak is occurring. They are widely used by homeowners, property managers, and even realtors to inspect pressurized water systems to make sure they're intact and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Water Boy Leak Detection today, 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Water Boy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Water Boy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you. From sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
This is the Doctor in the Dugout with Dr. Alan Byer, presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
I'm often asked about people who suffer their first back injury, think they've pulled a muscle in their back, and they don't stretch enough as far as their back is concerned. So when do you seek care from a doctor when you've sustained a back injury? At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we like to tell people that the most important thing is to watch and see if that back pain is radiating down your leg, causing any numbness, causing any weakness, or any bowel or bladder dysfunction. These are surgical problems usually and require a more urgent visit to the emergency room rather than waiting to see the doctor. If none of these signs are present, it's safe to wait it out, rest for a few days, and seek medical care from your doctor within a week or so. Hope that helps. Keep stretching your back. If that doesn't get better in a week or 10 days, that's when it's time to seek the orthopedic specialist. Hope this keeps you on the field, and keep listening. We'll be back soon.
Keep listening for more on the road to recovery right here on 710 ESPN.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
And make plans to join Mason and Ireland on Wednesday, January 22nd, live from the Ralphs in Redondo Beach, as we team up with BB-Go to support the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank's relief efforts for victims of the Southern California wildfires. For more details to come, Wednesday, January 22nd, from noon to 3 with Mason and Ireland at Ralphs in Redondo Beach. Make sure you're there.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL, realfathersrights.com/710, or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys.
Happy New Year from Kia of Carson. We're celebrating the new year with deals on all your favorite 2025 Kia models. Just go to KiaofCarson.com and check out our specials on the award-winning Telluride, hybrids, EVs, and plug-ins. The deals don't stop there. You can save on the entire Kia lineup, including our huge inventory of Kia-certified used cars. Kia of Carson has won numerous awards for customer service, so we know how to make the process easy and enjoyable. Hurry into Kia of Carson for the best selection.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text LION to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text LION to 321321. That's LION to 321321.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Are we going slow jams all of a sudden?
Yeah, the slow jam's bringing me down. I need fast jam. I can't do slow jam right now because I had this massive cup of coffee just as we were coming on the air, and I'm like all jittery and fired up.
Your heart is like pounding out of your chest.
Right, and then with Coach McVay on, that's a fast bang, 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 ping pong kind of an interview where you're hitting them, I'm hitting them, you're hitting them, I'm hitting them.
Right, poop diapers. Yeah.
Right, and then all of a sudden now I'm into slow jams. I can't go into slow jams.
Yeah, no slow jams today.
Okay, we got you.
Yeah, I'm also tired too.
We all have coffee. I had to get coffee too.
Me too.
It's been a weird day.
So can we restart what's going on here today? Because we came on the air and Coach McVay was available to us and we took that interview, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened last night, because I'm over at the Laker game, and I have some stories I want to tell you about.
So what happened in Minnesota?
Not necessarily with the game. I don't really care so much about the game. Steph, big shot late, wins the game, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But I'm more curious about, I like when you come back with stories about travel mishaps.
So, I mean, it just, I woke, it was a late night, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the game was late and on the East Coast, and I had to wake up to try to get back here. And then when I woke up, I get dressed, and I get my phone. I realized that 3 or 4 hours earlier, Delta had sent a notice that the flight was going to be delayed 3+ hours. I was like, oh, come on, man. Had I seen this when I gotten up to, go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I would have just changed my alarm and, stayed sleeping. So, and then I tried to sleep some more, and then 90 minutes into sleeping more, Mateo FaceTimed me. And by the way, he called me to tell me, I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, why is it dark? And I'm like, because I'm sleeping. And he's like, okay, so I turn on the light on the lamp, and then he's like, hey, Dad. I'm like, yeah. He's like, the Lakers won, whatever it was, 117 to 108. I'm like, oh, cool, buddy. Yeah, I saw that. And he's like, and the Warriors won by 1. I said, yeah, I was there. And he's like, oh, that's right. I said, remember I FaceTimed you and I showed you Anthony Edwards warming up because you like Anthony Edwards. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm like, all right, bro, have a good day at school. I'm going back to sleep.
Oh, that's funny, man. That is great. So,
by the way, here's something interesting I saw at the airport on my way out.
Let me hear.
So I'm walking out, and I'm through the baggage claim at Delta, and there's this, young lady walking, kind of in front of me, and she's got, a hat on and, glasses or whatever. And then there's this dude standing there with a bunch of, 8x10 glossies, you know? And I don't know who she was, but she was nice enough to go, hey, how are you? And the guy, she signed a bunch of glossies from the guy. So I walked back. I did a Cappy. I kind of walked back. I started looking at the glossies on the floor because the guy was just throwing them on the floor as she was giving them back to him so she could sign the rest of them.
Yeah.
And I was trying to see him, is she recognizable? Is it someone I would... I had no idea who she was, but he said, how was Houston? She's like, oh, you knew I was there? He's like, yeah, I follow you on social media. And I'm just like, wow, this is really creepy. I should walk away.
Yeah, I know. I had a somewhat similar experience last night at the Laker game. I was standing in the behind the basket. This is probably about 15 minutes or so before the game's going to tip off. And I realized that Diane Cannon is sitting right in front of where I'm standing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's a legend, though.
I know, but I for years and years and years, everybody sees her on TV. Right. I've never walked up to her at a Laker game and actually said hello and, I was like, oh, my God, I've seen her here forever. And wait, she's finally right here in front of me. And let me tell you, she is tiny, by the way. She is a little teeny tiny person.
Yeah.
But that was cool. But George, last night I'm at this Laker game, right?
Yeah.
And I'm standing.
I saw you filming LeBron warming up, saying that we need you, King. Or
I was trying to explain to the King last night. I was trying to explain to LeBron, yo, bro, the city needs you just the same way the city needs the Rams. And when I say the city needs, I don't want to over-dramatize the whole situation.
No, but it's just a good distraction,
Not only is it a good distraction, it's a good, hey, our team at this time is doing something special in the postseason, and it gives the city something to rally around while everybody is so downtrodden about what has been happening.
Which, by the way, LeBron addressed in the Mike Trudell interview. I don't know if we have do we have the specific clip when he talks about that part of it, or is it just the whole Trudell interview?
I have the whole Trudell interview.
All right.
Okay, then before let's give it context. So to your point, he does address that in the second question with Mike, but the first question was about, did you see this story about the fan, the young lady who was there? She was so freaked out in a cool way that LeBron was standing right in front of her. She was bursting into tears,
and he made eye contact with her, and that made her even go more crazy.
Right, and then he saw a message that he had on his phone at halftime, and then that's when he addressed her. And then obviously in the post game he took pictures with her and all that stuff, which is cool. But yeah, he addressed all that. Let's listen to the Trudell interview. Our buddy Mike Trudell.
LeBron, we just saw you go share a special moment with a little girl on the sideline. I know you got a little girl of your own, but that's got to be an important moment for you over there to make somebody's night like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it at halftime. Family friends sent the clip and was like, man, I didn't know you had this type of impact on people. So, I made sure I acknowledged her in the second half. And, when you got people like that cheering you on, that brings a little bit more excitement. So she's a wonderful little girl. She's over there climbing around right now. it was special for me and very humbling that I have that type of impact on people.
Yeah, no doubt, especially just thinking about what a tough week plus it's been here in Los Angeles, trying to find ways to bring people together like that.
No, absolutely. I haven't spoke since the tragedies has affected the Palisades and the greater areas of Los Angeles and all around. So my condolences, my heartfelt, my prayers, my sincerity goes to every family, either lost loved ones, lost properties, lost anything that had so much meaning to them. It's been a hell of a week for us here in LA, but we got to stick together, and we know how to bond together. You know, we apologize for the other night. We didn't give it what we had against San Antonio. The Rams did their job, and then hopefully we was able to bring a little excitement to the households wherever you are. You know, to the families that's been affected by this tragedy. But our hearts are with them.
No doubt about it. And with that said, LeBron, you still have to find a way to turn your attention to the game, which you certainly did in the fourth quarter. Scored 7 straight points, and then kind of finding Rui for cuts every other second. What did you do in the fourth to kind of get this one done?
You know, we've been in a lot of close games this year, but more importantly, like some of these games we've been letting slip away. And, I had an opportunity to kind of put my footprint in the game. I was kind of playing an overall game throughout the first 3 quarters, but I felt like my scoring was needed in the fourth quarter in order for us to overcome such a tough Miami team. They do a good job of making you stagnant with their zone, making you second-guess yourself at times, but you just got to be aggressive, and I think we all did that in the fourth quarter.
All right, we appreciate the time, LeBron. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, L.A.
That interview.
So he listened to you.
Yeah, it cracked me up, though, at the beginning of it. Couple of things. One, when he tells the story about checking his phone at halftime, doesn't seem far-fetched to me. I mean, if I were a ball player and I went in at halftime and I have 10 or 15 minutes to kill, I probably would try and just get away for a second. But for a close family friend to say to LeBron, yo, man, I didn't know you had that kind of impact on people. Could you imagine whoever this family friend is like somebody that like meets LeBron, becomes friends with LeBron, and doesn't know that LeBron is LeBron? I mean, what does he mean he doesn't know that he has that kind of impact on people?
Well, I think it's just like, man, people are crying just to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, aren't you a close family friend? Don't you know who I am? Don't you know how famous I am? Don't you know how what a big deal it is for a little girl to be sitting there and she sees me, I see her. I go over after the game. I give her some of my Taylor Swift bracelets or whatever it is that he's wearing. Yeah, man, he got that impact on people. But that just cracked me up. But, I'm really mad at LeBron, though, today.
Oh, now
George.
What
well, you know what I never had this experience in my life before, but now that I play Prize Picks all the time, do you know what LeBron's more or less number was last night in the game? Scoring.
No, what was it?
22.5. You know what he scored last night?
22.
And you know what really pissed me off about LeBron? I was like, come on, LeBron, score one more point. Get to the line, bro. Do something, will you? As he scored 7 straight in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And then I was also pissed at him because I was like this, yo, LeBron, get the ball over to Austin Reeves. I played Austin Reeves last night, George, to have more than 2.5 3-pointers. You know how many he had last night?
2.
So I'm like, hey, LeBron, 1, score 1 more point. 2, pass the ball to Austin Reeves and let him put one up from 3. I was this close to a big score last night on Prize Picks. Yeah. LeBron kind of screwed me out of the whole thing.
Well, okay. Well, it is what it is. Prize Picks, by the way. Run your game.
Yeah, right.
Campy, but he did mention about the stuff, that you wanted him to do. He needed, you said the city needed it. He performed. The Lakers won. And by the way, the city still needs a lot, all right? So if you're able to help people affected by the California wildfires, donate at the Red Cross, redcross.org/ESPN to help. It's Red Cross and redcross.org, /ESPN to help the Red Cross and help people recover from these wildfires. It's it's still pretty. It's pretty. Did you see the Bill Plaschke story in the LA Times?
I saw it in the LA Times.
Yeah, he's got this and I texted with him during this process, so I knew that he'd probably write this. But yeah, I mean, his house is still there, but the neighborhood is completely gone. Like It's just one of these incredibly weird feelings. His whole neighborhood, like the people he's lived around forever. They've lost everything.
But what he talked about was survivor's guilt.
Right.
And I said this to you guys last week, and I wasn't joking around. I left L.A. last week, and I came down to South, and it was perfect weather, and there was no sign of anything going on, and I knew friends were losing their homes. And I don't mean to make it seem personal, but that guilt that people experience because you feel so bad for somebody, and yet things aren't bad for you. And so I read that piece today. I saw the video. I thought it was really well done. George, this kind of brings me to one quick thing. Last night before the game, I'm standing there with Michael and John and Beto and Pepe and the whole team of broadcasters, and one of our marketing consultants, Mark Cates, says, hey, let me introduce you to some guys. Where I brought these guys here tonight to get them a little relief from the fires. And I'm talking to this young kid who's probably 16 years old, and he tells me about how his whole family lost their house in the Palisades. Yeah. And I said, well, what are you guys doing? And he said, well, we're living with Grandma and Grandpa right now. They also live in the Palisades. Their house is fine. And, this was like a kid I don't know. I've never met him before. And as normal looking as a kid as you would ever see. Like, it really hit me last night. Like, I know people that have lost their homes, but this is a stranger who I don't know. And here he was out at a Laker game just looking for some sort of mental relief. And, just
they
glad
provided it.
Yeah, and the Lakers
which is
did.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was very nice
Yeah.
to have them get a win and just, again, any little thing helps, man. There's no doubt. So, but as I mentioned earlier, redcross.org/ESPN, go donate there and let's help this cause because it's going to be, we're going to need a lot of help, certainly.
For a long time, by the way.
Yeah. All right, Cappy, coming up next, let's get back to some football. We had Sean McVay on earlier. I want to get into the Raiders a little bit. And I know Raider fan, you're already like, oh, here he goes. No. I actually want to know what the heck is going on with the Raiders because I feel like something is brewing in a positive way, potentially.
And there's a little controversy around that positivity.
Yeah, we'll get to that next.
Hey, guys, it's Sedano at Los Angeles.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
We both win. Score a touchdown every time with guacamole from Northgate Gonzalez Markets. It makes every party a winner. The guacamole from Northgate Gonzalez Market. It's the flavor that unites us. Northgate Gonzalez Market. Every visit has a story.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is being brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Here's the queen with what we all need to know. She's in for Lindsay Baseball, and I only realize now, because I'm looking at my screen, George wasn't there.
I'm here.
To say the whole Morongo Casino thing.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are.
There you are.
I'm
Thank
here.
you. Hey,
all right,
Queen.
guys. So we have been talking a lot about the wildfires, and if you guys can, go support Red Cross. And there's a lot of other places you can donate around the city. But there was a big concert that was announced, Fire Aid, and we did not know the lineup. But some of the lineup has been announced, and it includes Billie Eilish, Earth, Wind & Fire, Green Day, Gwen Stefani, Jelly Roll, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Lil Baby, Pink, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rod Stewart, Sing, among others, Stevie Nicks, and the list keeps going on and on. So if you guys want more information, you guys can go to fireaid.com, I believe. LiveNationEntertainment.com/fireaid. And you guys can get all the information if you guys want to get tickets.
And what is the venue?
It is, I was getting to that. It is at the Intuit Dome. It's 2 stages.
Oh, okay.
So it's happening January 30th. Sounds like, I mean, it's also for
like
a
an
great
amazing
cause,
show.
but
Yeah.
it's an amazing show. I mean,
Right.
Stevie Nicks, I've never seen her live. I would
She's
love to.
incredible.
January
Incredible.
30th, huh?
And I saw her, Laura, probably 2 years ago at the Ohana Fest in Dana Point.
Okay.
And she was, I want to say at the time, I think she was like 75 years old, and she can still bring it.
Yeah, and this isn't even all the lineup. There's going to be additional artists that will be announced in the upcoming days. You can also do fireaidla.org to get more information. But yeah, so far 15 artists, and it's not even all of them.
I must just say one thing, because if you went through that list real quick, you started with Billie Eilish, and the second artist you named was Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I thought, okay, Billie Eilish is super contemporary, and Earth, Wind, and Fire is really not at all.
Well, it's a big mixture. Like Katy Perry's in there, Dave Matthews, John Mayer. So and I'm sure there's additional artists that are gonna come together. So it's probably gonna get even more eclectic than that.
Wow, that's some incredible show. I'm almost even surprised that they're having it in the Intuit Dome as opposed to SoFi Stadium, because I would think lots and lots and lots of people would like to go to that kind of a show. That's an amazing lineup.
Yeah, that is what you need to know. Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Cappy, Crypto Ray has clipped a a video of Sean McVay, and you asking Sean McVay a question. And he says, "Let it be documented that Sean McVay said Cappy made a great point, and he also remembered his name and called him Scott." Wait for it. Now, listen. Is that the first time he's referred to you by name, Cappy?
No, he does not call me Cap or Cappy. He calls me Scott.
Right.
When we last year hosted an event, it was me, DeMarco, and Coach McVay.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
And we hosted this event for all these Rams season ticket holders. So before we actually went out on stage, we were all in the back and we were all hanging out and we were all talking. And he does not want to call me Cap or Cappy. Right. He prefers Scott. In fact, I don't mind it from him, but I didn't like it, George, when you referred to me as Scott, because I was like, who's George talking about? Oh, that's me.
Well, I then eventually, but I wanted to know he knew that I was referring to you, so there was that. But I did call you Cap and Cappy later, throughout the
Let me tell you something about Crypto Ray.
By the way, Mason said we asked if he was you think he was jealous, because John will maintain that'll be the case. And Mason wrote us, you and I, he said, not jealous, ... maybe a little shrug emoji.
Mm-hmm. Crypto Ray has become dangerous.
Why?
Okay?
Oh, because he knows how to use tools on the internet now?
Yeah, Crypto Ray has become a guy who's invested quite a bit of real time in his life to learning editing skills.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Crypto Ray has become a dangerous editor. Yesterday, I saw him put together a piece where everybody was giving Morales a hard time earlier this week about the commercials that are running on the station. It's your favorite president. So anyway, they took a video of like an old school watch, and then they put Morales' face in it, and then they had him sucking on a stogie, and he had the "Gon' ride it, gon' ride it, on it, gon' ride it," and Crypto Ray edited the hell out of this thing. Crypto, you're becoming dangerous, man. Yeah, thang.
I missed you, Cap.
Don't you feel, the way that just kind of happened, thang. That's pretty impressive, right?
A little forced.
Oh, was it forced?
Un
I thought
poquito.
it sounded so natural.
No, un poquito.
Oh, really?
No.
Huh.
Well, there you go. Un poquito.
Okay.
So, Cappy.
Yep.
So thanks to Sean for joining us there. We'll get more into the Rams in a second. I want to talk about the Raiders for a second.
Okay, let's do it.
So there are a couple of things. Obviously, the Raiders need a new coach. They need a new GM. And it seems like, according to all reports, they're kind of locking in on Ben Johnson, who is the Lions offensive coordinator. And most people think he's like the next, little offensive genius. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that would be a great coup. And apparently him and Brady hit it off in their virtual interview. But I guess the controversy is that the reports are leaking out. They're going to make this huge offer to him, or there's this huge offer on the table, and technically by rule they can't make an offer because he's still technically coaching the Lions right now.
Right.
So
right. Well, the other part of the controversy is that, okay, wait a second. So Brady is now a part owner of the Raiders.
Right.
And you remember the story earlier in the year where the league was saying to Brady, okay,
he
smart
can't
guy.
be involved in the broadcast production meetings and things like that
Right.
anymore.
You're not going into the team facilities.
Right.
You're not going to have access like, a normal A-list broadcaster would have because you're not only a broadcaster, you're also a team owner. So we're not going to let you into their facilities and possibly walk away with how they do their business.
Right.
So the story is, at least the way I'm reading it, is that while on one hand, Brady's calling the game, on the other hand, he's sort of there doing like a little bit of his own research on Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that the Raiders fired Tom Telesco, their general manager, after one season.
Right.
Like Tom Telesco didn't even have a chance to like say, "Hey, let me draft," because look at the Chargers roster. That's my roster.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
the feeling is like, well, that way Johnson can be aligned with the new GM, right?
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Is that and that has been like the big story is that Johnson, rather than jumping at like the first chance to become a head coach, he's been very patient to find the right organization and find the right situation. And right situation is defined as a collaborative effort, like Sean McVay and Les Snead have, like John Lynch has with Shanahan in San Francisco. He wants that type of relationship. The only thing I would say is this. I don't know if Ben Johnson is going to be an awesome head coach or he's going to be a terrible head coach. I have no idea.
I mean, some of these guys who are like super duper smart and not like super personable, like that stuff also doesn't always work. You know what I mean? Like, I remember like there was a Raiders coach, Mark Trestman. Do you remember Mark Trestman?
I know Mark Trestman, sure.
Incredibly smart offensive guy, right? Honestly, brilliant as an offensive coordinator in a lot of ways. And it didn't translate, but you have to be more of an old school Raider fan to remember that. But so I am genuinely curious. And here's the other thing. They need a quarterback, and they have the 6th pick in the draft. So, like, what are they going to do in that scenario? I think it's interesting because everyone talks about Shador, and now it's like, does Shador go to Dallas if Dion takes that job? Like, how does all that work? Dallas would need to trade up in that scenario, too, because it's not like the Cowboys are close. They have the 12th pick in the draft. So, I mean, how does all that potentially work? But maybe, like, I think that Travis Hunter will probably go in that top couple picks. Like, I think it's possible. I think teams will I think that I know if you're the Titans and you're Browns, you're the Giants, like, are you sold that these two guys are the guys you need to be the difference makers?
These two guys being the quarterbacks, the top two
quarterbacks? The top two quarterbacks, which is Shador and Cam Ward. And I don't know. Like, I think that there's a lot. There's still, the jury is still out in some people's minds, except your boy, Cappy, Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick thinks that Cam Ward is that dude. And he also thinks Ashton Genty is that dude. We have some audio. Let me hear Louis Riddick on with Kevin Clark on his podcast, his Omaha Productions podcast, the Kevin Clark podcast that he does through Peyton Manning's company. He had Louis Riddick on, and he was talking about Cam Ward and Genty, two guys, Ashton Genty and Cam Ward, who could be within reach of the Raiders.
By the way, you want somebody unflappable, Cam Ward. Just free advice for GMs, Cam Ward. Just as cool as Jaden Daniels.
I've gotten to talk to him 3 times. We did a game of his at Washington State 2 years ago, and then we got to do 2 Miami games this year. This dude, he's a stone cold killer, man. No question. When you talk about alphas, you talk about in-your-face alphas, quarterbacks, the tip of the spear who want to hold everyone else accountable. Some of the stories of him and what he did with that football team last spring before Miami played in 2024, in the fall of 24, the way in which he challenged people who were already there, the way in which he talked to them, the way in which he said, look, I don't know what you're used to, but it ain't going to be that way now. This is a guy who hadn't even taken a snap yet for the team. Are legendary. Legendary.
So, Cappy, I've maintained that either Shador or Cam would be what the Raiders would need in a division we've talked about numerous times, right, with good quarterbacks, and now Bo Nix has emerged. But the problem is they screwed themselves by winning those games, by winning that game.
Yeah, it was week 17. I'm trying to remember who they beat, but yeah, they won a game.
The week before the Charger game, right?
Yeah.
And now they're in the 6th spot. So if you're Ben Johnson, are you going to come in there without a quarterback? Like, what are you going to do? Like, Like, I don't understand how the Raiders end up getting one of these two guys when there's only two guys that, by consensus, people feel are worthy of one of those top picks.
Well, I'm so glad you're bringing this up. And this is what I would say to Raider fans. Careful what you wish for, and here's why. Ben Johnson is the hottest thing going in terms of offensive coordinator who's the next big deal as a head coach, right? Can we agree on that?
Yes.
But here's the thing.
And by the way, Laura told me they beat Jacksonville and the Saints down the stretch.
Okay, thank you. But here's the thing. If you're the Lions, your quarterback is Jared Goff, and he, even though the Rams didn't think he could do it, he has improved significantly in the Ben Johnson offense. But wait a second. Why is Jared Goff so good? Well, how about Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta? What I'm getting at is, and by the way, an offensive line that is a bunch of, just beasts up there in Detroit, guys who want to just smash you and run the ball down your throat. My point is simply this. Ben Johnson may be a great offensive coordinator, but you know what makes a great offensive coordinator look great, George?
What?
Great talent.
Yeah,
if Ben Johnson goes to the Raiders, guess what? He's a crappy offensive coordinator. You know why?
No great talent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Boy, you are a good listener. You know that? You are a good listener. And you're smart and you're thoughtful and you play along. Nice job by you.
So I just am genuinely curious. I mean, I know Raider fans are excited by Ben Johnson, but to your point, without players, I don't know what's going to happen there. And I'm still not buying Aiden O'Connell. No offense.
No,
okay?
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Cappy, you want to talk about talent. You are a man who loves to scout talent on Prize Picks, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money, okay, right now. I mean, this is insane. It's the best way to get action in sports in over 30 states, including this one right here in California. You play Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with injury insurance policy, too, which obviously helps, too, because we know guys sit out, particularly in the NBA, right? That's a big thing. And again, once you win on Prize Picks, all you got to do is download the app, use the promo code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, and it's as simple as going more or less on a statistical line for each individual player in a bunch of particular sports.
Now, I want to say to everybody who's listening right now, again, first and foremost, download the Prize Picks app, use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, make a $5 play, get a $50 bonus. Now, a lot of you guys are waiting for me to give you my daily Prize Picks. Yesterday, LeBron left us short by half a point. Austin Reeves left us short by half of a three-point shot. Otherwise, we were 4 for 6. Yeah. Here's tonight, George. I'll run it down for you. You ready?
Go.
Aaron Wiggins, Oklahoma City at Cleveland. I've got him for more than 1.5 assists because that's a demon play, so I'm going to get more odds. I've got Jalen Green tonight, Houston at Sacramento.
He's been hot.
More than 23.5 points. I've got Jarrett Allen tonight, this Cleveland-Oklahoma City game. I can't wait to turn on here in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
More than 13.5 points. Darius Garland, I've got him for more than 26.5 points and assists. And Cade Cunningham, Detroit at Indiana.
He's a beast.
41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's a 5-pick power play, $20 to win $500 on Prize Picks. Take us home, George.
I love it, Cappy. So, again, sign up with the promo code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Download the app. Get $50 instantly on your first $5 play. It's very simple, guys. Get in on Prize Picks. Prize Picks. Run your game. All right.
And it is a Cosm Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN. Caller number 7 right now at 877-710 ESPN. You're going to enjoy the rivalry matchup, Lakers-Celtics at Cosm LA. You'll enjoy immersive games in the Dome and the wall-to-wall multi-view display in the Hall at Cosm, the ultimate home for basketball fans. Get your tickets now through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. Or you can win them right now. Caller number 7, 877-710 ESPN wins on a Cosm Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Hey, everybody. Excited to have with me in studio the one and only
Dr. Monica Madden from Beverly Hills Ortho. Hi, Dr. Madden.
Hi, thanks for having me. This is exciting.
All right, let's get to why we want everybody to listen carefully, because you have a special offer for ESPN LA listeners. Tell me about it.
We're really happy to be part of the ESPN LA family and so grateful for everyone listening right now. We are giving the first 5 people who register now and every time this airs $1,000 off Invisalign or braces treatment. Just go to BeverlyHillsOrtho.com and enter the code SMILE and you're on your way.
So enter the code SMILE at BeverlyHillsOrtho.com and I could get $1,000 off Invisalign?
Yes, absolutely.
And what if I wanted to just call the office? Can I get the offer that way?
Yes, absolutely. Just say SMILE and you heard it on ESPN.
877-7 Let's Do This.
Yes.
Or, Monica, as I like to say, BeverlyHillsOrtho.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, you make me dance. When yeah.
What are you doing?
Why? Because let me tell you something. You remix with a little Debbie Deb? Oh, come on. Now you're talking my game.
Oh, no, the song is a banger. I'm talking about you.
Oh, well, that's how I feel it.
You know, things haven't changed around here, Laura.
That's true.
That's how I feel it,
I
Queen.
thought he would have evolved, pero
no, Queen. Pero, bailando. You know what I'm saying?
Bailando.
Right, listen, I feel it. I start bailandoing.
There you go.
I want to know how Cap would dance to this song.
Oh, listen, DeAndre.
Would he do a little cholo side to side type thing?
Last night, I'm at this Laker game, right? And it's like, I'm telling you, it's like 5 minutes from tip-off. The music starts jamming. And I just start dancing. Like, I just start getting all into it, you know? And our friend Steffa, who works on the other side of our offices, who kind of runs this operation, she starts laughing at me. And I go, wait, are you laughing at my moves? She goes, no, I'm not laughing at your moves. She goes, I just love the fact that you feel it and you start rocking out. And I'm like, yeah, that's the way I roll. That's the way the brother get down. Yeah, anybody watching YouTube can see I am just going off right now. And I'll tell you right now, the problem is I had this big-ass cup of coffee right before we came on the air.
Right, so
I
you're ready
think
to
my
roll.
heart might jump out of my chest at some point.
I will tell you this. You know, I've been having the stomach issues. I hadn't had any caffeine, but I was so tired I needed some. And then I went, and it was fine, but it was like stomach ache. And I'm like, yeah.
You need
it
extra
was
underpants?
fine. It was fine. It was fine, is what I would say. It wasn't.
You're saying it was fine?
Yeah, it wasn't like perfect, but it was fine. But I was a little worried about the caffeine, and and it caused me to go. You know.
Yeah, well, as you know, I will hook you up. I got extra underpants in the back of my car.
Well, I'm home, so I'm good. Yeah.
So you got extra underpants at the crib?
Yeah, all the underpants actually.
Okay, you got all of them. You know, I just did a full underpants like removal.
Whoa!
I went into. Oh wait, Mateo's in the house.
Yeah, Mateo's.
Wait,
Hi, Mateo.
Mateo's here. Hey, Mateo, what's up, man?
Oh.
Hey, Mateo, did we have a nice day that day in San Diego, you and me?
Yeah.
Did we get some good pizza?
Yeah.
Hey, Mateo, did we have a really good donut after that pizza?
Yes.
And then let me ask you something. Did you and me have a wrestling match right there in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you beat me up?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Sort of happened that way.
Now,
Aw,
why are you so
Cap.
dirty, bro? Were you playing kickball?
No, someone just kicked the ball right in my face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no way.
no.
No. Oh, my God. It
Were you
wasn't
okay?
me.
I was like, I was about to catch it, but then it just went right through my hand.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
It's okay. It happens.
That's like
Did you
Lad
cry?
McConkey.
Whoa.
I think it's too big.
You think it's too big? Put
You
it
think
on.
the
so you can
headphones are
hear
too
it.
big? George, should I put my son on my lap? You put your son on your lap?
Okay, hold on. No one can hear you, bro.
Okay, hold on. Justin, come on in here.
The fact
Yeah, no,
that
no, come in here.
the
No,
fact
it
that
is
he's
I
not
don't think
scared of
your
you
face
anymore.
is dirty, Mateo, just because of one ball hitting you in the face. Like, you've got a lot of dirt on your face, bro.
Let me see
It's
if Justin's
chocolate ice
face is
cream?
dirty. Hold
Is
on.
that
let me
true?
see.
Yes.
Come in here, buddy. Come in here, little
Where'd you
buddy.
get chocolate ice cream?
No, come in here.
Kelly's corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Robin one.
Yeah.
Come
All
look
right,
at
cool.
how cute George's son Mateo is. Come here, Justin. No, he is cute. Hold on, George. I'm going
He's
to put my son
adorbs.
on my lap, too.
Okay, I
Come
can't
here,
hear you
Justin.
anymore. All right,
Come
Mateo.
sit on my lap.
Say bye to everybody.
Come sit on my lap right
Bye,
here.
Mateo.
Bye, Mateo. Bye, Mateo. See you, little buddy. Now, George, look, I got Justin here. You got your son. I got my son. Look how much. Look how big your son is compared to my son, and your son's only like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Look
Look
at
at that.
Justin here. Look at the size
He's
of
got
this
his
guy.
West Liberty hoodie.
Yeah, you want to sit on my lap, little guy? No? You sure? Why is your face so dirty? Did somebody throw a ball at you and it went through your hands? No, you're not dirty. That was Mateo. All right.
Yeah.
George, you know who Justin's a big fan of?
Yeah. Who's that?
He loves DeAndre.
I mean, who doesn't?
No, I mean, DeAndre's a lovable guy, I know. But Justin's a big DeAndre fan.
That's right.
You know? So, all right, well, there you go. There's family time on Sedano and Cap.
I'm
Bro-
glad he's not afraid of you anymore. You used to make him cry.
He used to be afraid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your voice
right.
used to make him cry.
Well, but Queen, you don't understand. Mateo and I bonded about 2 weeks ago when
Cute.
George and I and the whole fam, we went out for a little pizza in the afternoon, and then after the pizza, we went for some donuts, and then Mateo and I did a full WWE wrestling match in the parking lot.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that you guys spend time together too.
Yeah.
Can I
right.
do a correction before people come at me?
Okay, really? People going to
Yes.
come at you?
No, not really, but I do like to be corrected if I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with that. So I said the concert was only at the Intuit Dome, but it is also at the Forum. So it's two venues.
Oh, so Are there multiple nights?
One night, two places, two
Two
locations.
venues.
Two
Oh,
Can
my
you go in
gosh.
between the two places?
I don't think so, but I will find out.
Pedo, please find out.
That would be interesting.
That and the other part of it would be like, okay, the Intuit Dome has these artists, the Forum has these artists. I want to go to this one or that one.
That's like beach. What is it? Beach Life Fest or whatever. We're trying to get to. Yeah.
Yeah, in Redondo.
Yeah.
In May. Yeah,
Trying to do the Lenny Kravitz night.
we're going. We are going. We're going to Redondo Beach for Beach Life.
Yeah. When's that?
May 4th ish.
Yeah, 4th. I think it's 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
I mean,
Friday,
I-
Saturday, Sunday.
I can't count on May. I don't know where the hell I'll be in May.
I know. And I said to Rachel, I go, listen, Friday night before the show, I'm going to do Sedano and Cap from 3 to 6 from the hotel in Redondo. And she's like hell you are. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it'd be cool. Like, I'm here. I'm in Redondo. I'm going to the show tonight. I'm at the hotel. She's like, no, you're taking the day off.
Wow.
Yeah. She lays down the law, George.
I mean, you could have come over here.
It's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do the show from your crib.
Right. It'd be funny. We should do the show from different rooms and still have the YouTube, even though we're in the same place. Yeah.
I do like that idea. We do indeed.
That would
All
be
right,
funny.
where were we? Were we somewhere?
We weren't really. But I want to talk about Roki Sasaki real quick.
Okay.
As Laura has dubbed it, we're on Sasaki Watch.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had a bunch of tweets in the Sedano and Cap Circle of Trust on Twitter
Okay.
that the Japanese papers are saying he's going to make a decision potentially during the show. Like, it's going to happen tonight.
I could buy that. I sort of was expecting him to wait till tomorrow, till like 5 o'clock tomorrow. Like let the news cycle go through the day, make the announcement, and then everybody's like, okay, well, we'll just sort of forget about it till Monday. But I must say this. I fully expect Sasaki to sign with the Dodgers. Have you seen the story that the Dodgers...
The Dodgers and Padres looking for more posting money or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I guess the Padres can offer like I want to say $6 million and the Dodgers $5 million, or maybe it's the other way around. So like the difference in the money is like $1 million.
Right.
You know, so if the kid is into the money, he might go to the highest bidder.
Right.
But
Which
this
could
is
be
not
the gutty little Padres because you only have X amount of dollars for like posting money, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with everybody. I don't really understand how this whole international posting money and then how you can make trades to accumulate more money in like $250,000 chunks. I'm not an expert in all of that. I know you guys are probably surprised because you probably think of me as an expert in everything, and I appreciate that. But in this particular instance, I'm admitting to you I don't really know for sure. But if I'm Sasaki, it's not even a competition between the Padres and the Dodgers.
Right.
You got Ohtani, you got Yamamoto, you got a team that just won a World Series, and the team is set for the next 5, 6, 7 years to go on a run. Why am I going to anywhere other than the Dodgers? And the Padre fans, here's what they think. They think that Sasaki looks at Yu Darvish, who apparently is like his godfather or...
Oh, wait, no. Yu Darvish is like the godfather of like these young Japanese pitchers now. Like they all love him.
But I don't have a real grasp on what you think when you're a 23-year-old Japanese superstar baseball player.
I bet you he grew up watching Yu Darvish.
Right, but I would think that if I were in his shoes, the guys that I'd want to play with are my contemporaries in Ohtani and Yamamoto.
Maybe.
Or do I want to go because Darvish was my mentor or he's somebody that I idolized as a kid?
I'll give you a basketball example of that.
All right, let me hear it.
Back in 2017 or whatever it was, Luka Doncic should have been the number one pick in the draft. The Phoenix Suns drafted DeAndre Ayton, right? And it's weird because the Suns at that time, their head coach, Igor Kokoshkov, is from Serbia, or not Serbia, he's from Slovenia. Which is where Luka's from. So everyone just assumed, they're going to draft Luka. You know what I mean? But then as time went by, they were like, oh, no, they're going to draft Ayton. And clearly they made a mistake there. But then the Kings, remember, they drafted Marvin Bagley in that scenario.
Another mistake.
And then so Dallas trades up with Atlanta to get Luka. And Luka was super excited because Dallas obviously had a better history, right? They had at least won a championship more recently. And he got to play with Dirk, even though Dirk was already on his last year or so, or 2 years or whatever it was. But he got to play with one of his international idols in Dirk Nowitzki. So, he was happy about it. Now, again, it's different because he, in this case, Sasaki can choose. But, Luka was very excited to team up with Dirk because a lot of those international guys look at Dirk and they're like, oh, my God, like he's one of the greatest European players ever.
Well, I would say it like this. The Dodgers, if they got Sasaki, it's a nice addition. For the Padres, who are the competitor for Sasaki, it's a significant need.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt. I mean, the Dodgers already have Ohtani coming back, Yamamoto the way he pitched towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
And, they lost Walker Buehler, but they replaced him with Blake Snell. Yeah. So, the Dodgers are in a much better position. And the Padres are in a desperation situation. They need to get Sasaki. Yeah. I find it all very hard to believe. I think he's going to the Dodgers.
Necesitan Sasaki.
Sí, necesitan Sasaki.
There you go, Cappy.
We love it. Oh, nosotros necesitan Sasaki.
Look at you, Cappy.
See?
I mean, you've come a long way from
pretty
saying
good.
Bayando just a few minutes ago.
Pretty good. Well, yo necesito practicar.
Sí.
I love that. And I know that George speaks Spanish to you, so you continue that practice.
Right. Evolucion.
Now we got to work with DeAndre.
D, come on now.
Man, I used to have it in me, but I don't got it no more.
Why?
Really? If we got Cappy to do it, we could get you.
True.
Why? Would you only get through Spanish 2 in high school or something?
Whoa, man.
Whoa. Espanol dos?
What did you get through?
Honestly, I didn't even take Spanish in high school.
Man.
Oh, well, that's why you ain't speak no Spanish.
Hap, you speak better Spanish than Christian.
Really?
And he's half Mexican. Mm-hmm.
Well, so am I.
I mean, no, you're not.
Well, I think I am.
Definitely not. What are you talking about? Hey, real quick, Cappy, we've got Radio Tinder up next. But first, let me tell you about my home away from home. It was just there. LAX changes arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, transform the traveler experience. The LAX economy parking structure now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. A new facility will have all major rental car brands under one roof. And in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. Yep, if you're a local, you don't even need a car because you can take the train to the Century Station, and then from there, the People Mover train will take you right to your terminal. For more information, check out their website, flylax.com. Go there for more info. That's flylax.com.
The Kings have shifted their focus to British Columbia as they look to get back on track against the reigning Pacific Division champion, Vancouver Canucks. The Kings have been the best defensive team in the NHL.
Leaves you hanging. You feel abandoned with a home that is no longer livable, and you now have no other choice than to use the insurance contractor to make repairs, which includes their brazen attempt at lowballing the estimate. Okay, so here's what you do. You take a deep breath, then you call Avner Gatt. They're one of California's largest public adjusting firms, and trust me, size does matter in this case because Avner Gatt has experienced it all. Insurance companies can make you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope in getting your home back together. Avner Gatt knows exactly how to handle these situations. Not only do they have extensive knowledge on how to handle your dilemma, but they remain passionate about helping people. It's why Avner and his family continue to take the calls themselves at Avner Gatt Inc. They cover all of Southern California, and if I haven't convinced you with all of these truth bombs thus far, just check out what seems to be a never-ending stream of 5-star reviews on Yelp, Google, and the Better Business Bureau. So, whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256. That's 818-917-5256. And you can go online to avnergatt.com.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Right now, for a limited time only, get 2.49% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end January 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
It's a Cosm Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN. Listen every hour for the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you will be a part of the action on Thursday, January 23rd for the Lakers Celtics at Cosm, where you can take the NBA to a new level where every play comes to life. Get tickets now at Cosm.com. Cosm Ticket Thursday today on 710.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have. Think it could be lower testosterone? What do you mean? All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T. I've heard about Nugenix. That really works? Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try? Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
And it is Sedano and Cap, around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
All right, producer Lindsay will be back, but I got it. I got this. All right, guys. So this has never happened to me, but I want to know if you guys have experienced it. So there was a impromptu, maybe not impromptu, but Bad Bunny and Jimmy Fallon put on a Subway concert. So Bad Bunny was kind of disguised. He came out, started doing his thing. The pictures look amazing. I've never been part of like a pop-up concert or where somebody disguised themselves and it seemed to be somebody else and it was a famous singer. You both have traveled a lot, especially you, Sedano. I want to know, have you guys ever been at a like pop-up concert or something like that?
So
Really?
I can give you one. In Dallas at a Super Bowl. So I went to the Hennessy House party one year, and it was like in this neighborhood in like Dallas. Like you literally had to go and park in a strip mall. And you parked in this strip mall, and then they would like bus you in and out, okay? And when I went to this Hennessy House party, we're just there hanging out, right? We're just figuring, oh, it's going to be drinks or whatever. And then there's like, I see like there's this like stage. There's a DJ on there right now. And then like all of a sudden there's like this other stage in like this living room, right? So there's like a DJ stage. And then like opposite of him, there's like another stage with like, you know, microphones and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's going to be like, you know, whatever. I mean, they'll just probably have like a band or whatever. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the DJ's like, yo, and welcome to the Hennessy House, Naughty by Nature.
Oh, that's dope.
And everybody's like, hip hop, hooray, ho, hey, ho. And it's in a house, like literally in a house. And it was insane. It was, to this day, the coolest thing I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. I love
but this was
song.
like, that was the year they had the ice storm there. So what year was that? That was probably like 2011 or 12.
Yeah,
I
was there. Yeah. Ho.
Were you at the Hennessy House?
I don't know if I was at the Hennessy House. I don't remember it being called the Hennessy House. I remember being at a house one night at this crazy party, and I remember Cam Newton was going into his rookie year, so that was like his draft class, and kind of hanging with that guy who was kind of a strange dude back then. Hugh Jackman that night.
Oh, Hugh Jackman was at that Super Bowl. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Justin Timberlake, which I was like, that was kind of a cool experience to meet that dude. But Naughty by Nature, it's funny you say that because I've been on a little bit of a weird Naughty by Nature kick recently.
Oh, that's interesting.
Where I've been putting it into my Spotify, and then Naughty by Nature comes up, and I keep having this one line in my head. OPP, how can I explain it? I'll take it frame by frame it, and that's kind of where I can get to, and that's the only... I can't get much further than that, you know?
So anyway,
O
that's
is for
our-
other, P is for people. The last P, well, that's not that simple.
Right.
That's
DeAndre,
a dope one.
DeAndre, you don't know nothing about no Naughty by Nature, and you definitely know nothing about no OPP.
Come on, man. You know me.
Oh,
There
come
you
on.
go.
Oh, come on, Cappy. Oh, damn.
Happy, have you ever
Nice.
had a pop-up concert?
I have not. I cannot think of one time where I've ever seen like what you described with Bad Bunny and Jimmy Fallon.
That, like, I've been to New York a few times, and I love riding the subway. I know people hate it over there, but I love it because it's easy. I've never been in that. Like, all I've seen is rats, man. I'm like, why can't Bad Bunny just pop up?
Laura wants bunnies, not rats.
Yep, Bob. Conejito malo, please, and thank you.
See.
All right, what's next?
Alrighty, so last night I saw something very interesting. University of Massachusetts had a game against, I hope I'm not butchering his name, but Fordham?
Fordham.
Fordham,
Yeah,
correct.
they're
In New York.
a college in New York City. Yeah.
Cool. So
Denzel Washington went there.
Oh, okay.
Were you going to say Fordham?
No, I was not actually. I promise you I was not.
Okay.
However, so this game last night had a very interesting event. Can you guys take a guess on how many free throw attempts were combined in that game?
112.
You said it was Fordham and who else?
University of Massachusetts.
UMass Fordham. Free throws, 40-minute game. I'll say 60.
It was 122 free throw
I was
attempts.
close. I said 112. Look at that.
122 free throw attempts?
122 free throw attempts.
Wow.
79 personal fouls, and 10 players fouled out. So my question to you guys, if you go to a game and there's nothing but
I'm walking
fouls
out.
called, I was just about to say, are you walking out of this game?
I'm walking out of that game. No offense. I am absolutely walking out of that game. No doubt.
I turned off a Laker game, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, where the game took like 4 hours because there were like 65 free throw attempts. It was ridiculous. The referees call fouls on every play. Or they could. It's just like in the NFL. You could call a holding penalty on every play. They don't.
Yeah.
They could.
Yeah.
Hey, ref, stay out of the way. Will you please?
Will you please?
You're making it impossible for me.
Yeah. By the way, do you know who I'm going to ask you, Cappy, because do you know who Denzel Washington's freshman basketball coach was at Fordham?
Was it John Johnson Steen?
You know who this person is?
He's at Fordham. This
He
has
was
got
at
to be in
Fordham.
the late 70s, early 80s.
No, it's early 70s. I would say closer to early 70s. but
Early
yeah.
70s?
Early to mid 70s, yeah.
John Stone?
Oh, come on, man.
Steve Stevenson?
Come on, man.
Mike Michelson.
You don't know who any of those people are.
No, I made
Early
them all.
70s.
Early 70s. Coach
Yes.
Fordham.
I
Larry
work
Brown.
with him.
You what?
I work with him occasionally.
You work with him occasionally. Oh, was it like Hubie Brown?
PJ Carlissimo
Oh, PJ.
was
Oh, really?
Denzel Washington's head coach at Fordham. And the reason I know that, I found this out not through PJ because he would never brag about it, but I interviewed a number of years ago. I want to say it was a long time ago now. So we were at some fight. It might have been like Pacquiao Marquez. Mm-hmm. And we were at the Radio Row at Pacquiao Marquez. So it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Denzel came on the show. And Denzel, I asked him, I wanted to talk movies with him, and he wanted to talk sports with me. So I was like, you know what? Forget the movies. Let's talk sports. Because he was just not that interested in even in promoting the film that he was coming on to talk about. So we start talking sports, and we start talking about, and then I found a happy medium talking about like He Got Game and how he prepared for that movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to me, well, you know, I played basketball with someone you probably know. Like, he was my coach. I said, who? He's like, PJ Carlosimo. I go, get out of here. And he's like, yeah, he was my coach. So I remember calling PJ that afternoon and be like, yo, did you coach Denzel Washington? He's like, yeah, I still talk to him every once in a while. I'm like, that's amazing.
That's dope, man.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It's funny, DeAndre, I thought you were going to call Fordham because I've heard people who don't know how to pronounce Dartmouth, and they're like, yeah, hey, how about Dartmouth? I'm like, no, I think it's pronounced Dartmouth, but people call it Dartmouth. You know, Fordham.
Smush Parker, I think, went to Fordham, no?
Fordham.
I
don't know.
Oh, yeah, somebody just tweeted it, too. I just saw that. Let me see. Let me look it up to make sure. But anyway, all right, we're done. We don't got enough time to do any more, to be honest.
All right.
So. All right, that is Radio Tinder. Cappy, coming up next, Dr. Clapper's going to join us. How are you? But first, tell us about Real Father's Rights.
You know, I would love to tell everybody about Real Father's Rights. First of all, a big shout-out to Mark Reel from Real Father's Rights, because what he did the other day was he was watching the show while we were on. This was the other day when we were on during the mornings. And Mark Reel was out at his office, and he was watching the show, and he was like, hey, man, I got you guys up here on the big screen TV. So I want to just say to all the fellas out there, hey, guys, look, if you are in a situation where you find yourself getting ready to go through a divorce, or you've already gone through a divorce, Real Father's Rights is here to help you, the guys, because more often than not, family court seems to favor the ladies' side more so than the guys' side. So if you need that justice that you deserve, if you want to get that happiness that you deserve, you should call Real Father's Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys, 323-870-1611, 323-870-1611. You can visit this website, Real, R-E-E-L, realfathersrights.com/710. Let's get real with Mark Reel at Real Father's Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
I'm going to get back on the horse. There you go. I'm going to do dry. I did it last year. And I'm going to do it again this year.
Dry January.
Yeah.
Started January 1st. We're done.
January 2nd. I went to the Rose Bowl on January 1st.
So you owe me a day.
Okay. I got to get to February 1st. Yeah. I owe you one.
It's Trav and D-Far.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Hey folks, it's DeMarco. 2 more wins left until the big game in New Orleans. Imagine being a part of the ultimate football experience. Absolute Sport can make it happen. From exclusive travel packages to unforgettable events, they'll get you right into the heart of the action. Don't just watch the big game, live it with Absolute Sport. Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport. And gear up for a trip of a lifetime. Absolute Sport, where fans become legends.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Kings have shifted their focus to British Columbia as they look to get back on track against the reigning Pacific Division champion, Vancouver Canucks. The Kings have been the best defensive team in the NHL this season, but Captain Ajay Kopitar says they need to get back to scoring goals too.
It seems like last few games we've played, it's been, low-scoring affair. So, we got to make sure that we stick with the tight checking, but when we do get chances to find a way to score goals.
It's the Kings and the Canucks tonight at 7 on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah. My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Cappy.
Boy, we need some good times in this town.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Rams gave us a good time on Monday. Lakers gave us a good time last night. But with what has gone on in this city, we need some good times.
That's right. Cappy, good job.
Way to go, Dr. Clapper. Doc, you good? Your fam good?
George, everything's good. Yeah, we had to evacuate, but my house is okay, and it's all good. And thanks for asking. You guys are fantastic.
Well, it's funny. I was walking around crypto last night. I say hello to all the security people and everything, and the guys in the media room. And I'm asking everybody the same question. Hey, you good? Your family good? Everything good with your house? And I think people actually do appreciate just caring.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, it brings us together. The glass is half full or half empty. I mean, it's a horrible tragedy, but if it brings out the closeness amongst the rest of us, it turns out to be a good thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that we've seen a lot of generosity and just how much the people in this city love the city and love and have a sense of humanity amongst them, right? There's a lot of outside noise, and I feel like for the most part, it has not infiltrated, the city barriers, right? Where people here are doing their part to deal with the problem right now and worry about the other stuff later. So I'm very
exactly
proud
right
in that regard. And by the way, I tweeted this earlier, Dr. Clapper and Cappy. The local news stations, every single one of them, have done a phenomenal job during this entire process.
Right. You're so right.
You want to talk about accurate information in a timely manner, during a tragedy and during an emergency like that. They are as important as anyone, right? After the first responders, it's them, and I would say they have all done, every single one of them, because I've watched all the channels. Okay. They have done a phenomenal job, so I wanted to kind of take a second to salute them as well.
Well, you know what, George? While you're doing that, let me just say this. I didn't watch all of them. I really glued myself to KTLA, so I can only speak to what a great job I thought they did.
I think they did the best job, but again, by very slim margins, because I think they all did great.
Yeah, I didn't compare, but I did watch. I was glued to KTLA. I thought they did a great job. And one other thing, in times like these, AM radio in particular, not just terrestrial radio, but particularly AM radio, becomes a very important community asset. And I would just say to our colleagues that are in the news radio industry, just by being in my car and listening at very strange times as well, I'm talking super early in the morning, I think our colleagues in the radio business did an excellent job of covering all of this and being as informative as they were. So shout out to the local media that seemed to work 24/7 here over the last 10 days or so. So big shouts out.
No doubt, Cappy. Well, Dr. Clapper, let's talk some injuries with you. The Lions, Aiden Hutchinson, their best defensive player, broke his leg, a number of months ago. And there was some chatter about could he be back if they made the Super Bowl. Now, they're still several steps away, and perhaps even the Rams could stand in their way depending on what happens this weekend. But what are the chances of that actually potentially happening?
He has been very vocal and, showing Instagram videos of him running in a pool, which I love because I wrote a book about that called Heal Your Hips, but as a way to actually rehabilitate because it's without gravity. But he's promising his teammates, you get to the Super Bowl, which we hope not because that means they'll have beaten the Rams, that he'll be back. And why is that possible? This is a broken leg. How come he could be back in 4 months? And here's the answer. Here's a clap revision for you. The tibia, is between your knee and your ankle. Unlike Gordon Hayward, remember his injury where he fractured his tibia in front of us, his whole foot rotated around? Yeah. That's because the fracture to the tibia was near the ankle joint. But Aiden Hutchinson's fracture is in the mid-shaft of the tibia. So here's a clap revision for you. A motorboat, all right? If you have a motorboat with an outboard motor, you know that handle that sticks up from the motorboat of the engine itself? Mm-hmm. It's called the tiller. And you directly pull one way or the other to steer the boat. When we fix the fracture of the tibia in the mid-shaft, it's an easy fracture, just like it's easy to use the tiller to steer the motor to turn it. But when you introduce the steering wheel, where you now have a steering wheel rotating the engine, it gets a little bit more complicated. If you break the steering wheel, it's not as simple as just gluing back a new tiller onto the motor. So by able to drop a rod in the center of the bone, it's a simpler fracture to fix. All he has to do is walk around on it, and it compresses the two ends. It's like a shish kebab of the bone. Compression, it goes on to heal. It's when the fracture is near the joint where rotation is involved, it's more complicated to fix, like a broken steering wheel to turn a boat, than actually holding on to the tiller. And I absolutely agree with Aiden Hutchinson. If they make it to the Super Bowl, we're going to see something we've never seen before in sports. 4 months after a tibia fracture, he's going to be playing.
Well, let me ask you this, because, Cappy's a 12-year-old. And as soon as you said a motorboat, he perked up because he can't help himself.
I do love motorboating, and I always say it. Like when one team beats the hell out of another team and they motorboated them, I love that phrase.
Well, then you know what a tiller is. Not a lot of people know it, but that's that stick that comes out. If you break that stick, you can just use duct tape. It's easy to fix that motorboat and the steering because you just put tape around it, but not if you crack the steering wheel and all those wires. That's Gordon Hayward's tibia fracture, not Aiden Hutchinson.
How does it compare to T.O.'s?
T.O.
Remember he played when he was with the Eagles? He played on a fractured leg.
He did come back for the Super Bowl. He did come back, as a matter of fact, yeah.
But Paul George, remember when he went crashing into the stanchion? That was a mid-shaft tibia fracture as well. Yeah. And those are easy for us to fix, even though it looks horrible. It's an easier fracture to fix because there's no rotation really, not like the ankle itself. But I want to ask you guys a question. As a Rams fan, as an artist, I do sculpting because I look at what Michelangelo did. I learn from a mentor, if you will. How much does Aaron Donald play a role in the defensive player verse as a rookie? How much is he being mentored, do you think, by who came before him on the defense for the Rams?
My guess, this is just a guess, is not that much.
Really?
Yeah, listen, I think Aaron Donald is around, and I think he probably, I'm sure every time a kid gets a chance to talk to him.
Recently.
Yeah, I'm sure every time a guy like Jared Verse gets a chance to just kind of get in his ear, I'm sure there's like some conversation. But in terms of like being a guy who he calls or a guy who he says, hey, can I study some film with you? Can you? I don't know. I'm just, my shot is I doubt it. And the reason I say it like that, Doc, is this. We had Sean McVay on earlier today, and we brought up to him how the Rams were preparing their defensive line for when Aaron Donald was going to leave. And they drafted two guys in the draft the year after the Super Bowl, two guys that are now really important parts of that defense. And then they drafted two more guys this past draft. So essentially what you did is you replaced Aaron Donald, one guy, with four guys. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but that's really they rebuilt their defensive line with first and second year players.
Wow. So, I mean, it's just impressive to watch as the season has gone on, that intangible that George talks about a lot of chemistry. That's what it's almost like what you're seeing is this chemistry of the defense getting glued together better. It's just been beautiful to behold.
Boy, it sure is. But I will tell you this, guys. 9 sacks last week against Sam Darnold because Sam Darnold held on to the ball too long. Philadelphia's got a better offensive line, and when they played earlier in the season, 1 sack for 12 yards because Jalen Hurts will not sit in that pocket. He'll take off. He'll either throw the ball away or he'll get out of bounds, and that will be a big, big part of this game this Sunday.
And that's how the
Do we
Eagles
have a chance
motorboated
to beat them? Do we have a chance to beat
them?
them?
100%.
Yes, I give them a puncher's chance for sure.
Yeah, mostly because McVay will go back, tear apart that film, and say they did all of these things to us last time. We can't let them do any of that this time. And
Right.
I would suspect that Sean McVay will out-coach Nick Sirianni.
Well, and there's also Kirk Morrison came on, Dr. Clapper, and he mentioned how Vic Fangio was the first. Remember when the year the Rams went to the Super Bowl and they lost to Belichick and them? Vic Fangio was the first to kind of like really figure out the Rams offense that year. And basically he said Belichick copied what Fangio did for that Super Bowl. So there's a little, get back, I think, for Sean McVay going up against the Vic Fangio defense for the first time in a long time.
It would be earth-shattering, and I look forward to them beating the damn Eagles. Because let me tell you, I took my wife to an Eagles game at SoFi. I had to leave at halftime. She says, I'm never doing this again because those fans were the worst that I've ever encountered.
They are the worst. They are the worst.
DeAndre, even you as an Eagles fan would admit they're pretty bad.
Oh, they're pretty bad. Yeah, they are bad.
Oh, my God.
Well, you guys saw that video of the Eagles fan berating the Packers fan, calling her these unbelievably terrible
we don't have
words.
to get into the details.
Well, my point is this. That guy, because it went viral, that guy lost his job.
Yeah.
That's the kind of moron some of these people can be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I had them sitting in front of me at SoFi, this woman completely intoxicated with her 10-year-old sitting next to her. My wife says, we're out of here. So that was it. I got to see one half of the Philadelphia.
Mrs. Clapper took charge. I love it.
You didn't miss much in the second half, by the way.
Yeah,
Doc.
that's true. Yeah. Dr. Clapper, you're the best. Thanks for the time as always.
All right, God bless you guys. Thanks so much.
Right, back to you.
All right, see ya. All right, Cappy, let's get into the Rams. What are their chances this weekend? How can they win? How does this Eagles team stack up the second time around against this team? And let's kind of dive into the playoffs, too, a little bit. And there's a lot of Caleb stuff out there. So we'll get into a little football.
Yeah.
All right, Cappy, but first, talk about the East Central. Your home away from home.
My home away from home, the East Central. I literally live right across the street. Hey, by the way, when I was at the East Central, this is last night. This is a little bit before the Laker game. One thing, I was in the lobby of the East Central last night, and there were firefighters from all over the country, guys who had come into town, and New Mexico, Arizona, Northern California, wherever. And I was standing there chatting with a bunch of these guys in the lobby last night, just kind of showing them appreciation, telling them how much we all appreciate them coming in to do the work. So it was great to see them there. I suspect they were probably staying there at the East Central because the firefighters have been staying all over downtown L.A. Listen, if you want to come to downtown L.A., games, museums, restaurants, whatever it is, there's no reason to go home. A little staycation in downtown L.A., the East Central Hotel. The biggest hotel rooms in all of downtown L.A., contemporary furnishings. Hopefully you get that Mamba room with that big Kobe painting. If not, it could be the Madonna room. The gym, which is brand new, has all this great equipment. I use the treadmill. I use the dumbbells. Everything you would need in a hotel gym. The Nixo Lounge, get a nice cocktail at night. Maybe it's breakfast in the morning. The people who work there are fantastic. And, oh, by the way, a little cherry on top, I swear to God, man, the softest towels you've ever felt in your freaking life. I want to steal them every time I'm there. 213-748-1291 is the phone number, 213-748-1291. Or you can always book online, eCentralHotel.com. That's eCentralHotel.com. The East Central Hotel in downtown L.A., entertainment's official address.
Hey, it's Mace. As L.A. deals with tragedy, our friend Jacob Imrani has a special message for you.
Wildfires can leave lasting scars on our families, our homes, our communities, and our peace of mind.
Navigating the recovery process is hard, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Jacob Amrani, and my team and I are here to help ensure you're treated fairly and get the resources you need. Call us for a free consultation and let us help you rebuild with confidence.
Call Jacob.
Make plans to join Mason and Ireland on Wednesday, January 22nd, live from the Ralphs in Redondo Beach, as we team up with BBGO to support the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank's relief efforts for victims of the Southern California wildfires. For more details to come, Wednesday, January 22nd from noon to 3 with Mason and Ireland at the Ralphs in Redondo Beach. Make sure to be there.
Why do we...
The Kings have shifted their focus to British Columbia as they look to get back on track against the reigning Pacific Division champion, Vancouver Canucks. The Kings have been the best offensive team in the NHL this season, but Captain Ajay Kopitar says they need to get back to scoring goals too.
It seems like last few games we've played, it's been, low-scoring affair. So, we got to make sure that we stick with the tight checking, but when we do get chances to find a way to score goals.
It's the Kings and the Canucks tonight at 7 on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
And they're ready to move. Some have inherited property, and you know what? They don't want to have that property. They want to get rid of it. Or maybe you're just ready for a change in your life. Whatever your reason is for selling, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution for your needs. They'll make you a competitive cash offer with no repairs needed, and they can close in days. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and the most stress-free way to sell your home. No complicated closing process or contracts falling through. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for decades, and they've got all the reviews to prove it. So call them today and get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Bing, ba-da-bum, do, da-da-bum, ba-da-bum, bing, da-da-bum. Hey, George, we were giving out a lot of love to local media during that Dr. Clapper visit. And we were saying, I mentioned to you that I was addicted to KTLA during all of this over the last, 10 days or so.
Are you watching KTLA right now?
I am. Are you seeing what's going on right now?
Yeah, these kids on the motorbikes that are taunting the cops, and the cops are now kind of just following them. They're in Hawthorne right now. They were in Inglewood earlier. They're in Hawthorne now, driving down Imperial Highway. It's they're popping wheelies in front of the cops. They're just kind of messing with them. And now they know the choppers are chasing them, so they're looking on their phones.
In the meantime, they must be about 25, 30 guys all on dirt bikes and four-wheelers like quads.
On ATVs, right, and stuff. So they hung a right on Prairie now. So they're back in Inglewood.
Most of these guys are not
around traffic.
Most of these guys are not wearing helmets, so we can see their faces. When they get to an intersection where there's a red light, they're cruising up on the sidewalks, and they're. Let me tell you something right now.
Well, now they're going right through the middle of an intersection.
Oh my God.
Well, I would love for the cops to go bust these dudes for whatever it is they could bust them for, because they're just terrorizing.
Well,
people
they've taken
a
bunch of red lights at this point and done a lot of stuff, so that now they what started off as them taunting the cops has now become a bunch of traffic infractions.
Oh, and also there's a whole bunch of cops now on their own motorcycles. So now you got chips behind them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bust these dudes. I would love to see one of the. Okay, see now when you talk about taunting, one guy he's holding his phone in his left hand and he's waving to the helicopters with his right hand.
Yeah,
and
you're behind already, bro.
Yeah.
That already happened like 3 minutes ago.
Well, you understand, I'm way behind. But
Things
popping
really
these,
don't change around here.
Popping these wheelies and stuff, dude. I'd love to
Yes,
see one of
yes,
these guys
they don't
fall
change.
backwards, land on their head.
Yeah, these people were just trying to cross the street there, apparently on Prairie and 107th, and they're like looking, going like, "What is happening?"
Oh,
Why
dude,
are
and
all
they're
these people on a bike
driving down the
driving
wrong
by?
side of the road. I mean, come on, guys. Really, like what is your goal here? You know, what is your goal? To be disruptive at a time in L.A. County when the firefighters and the cops are as stressed, and I say stressed, I just mean it pulled in so many different directions and, doesn't have the manpower necessarily, and you guys are going to do this right now? Come on, guys. Really? What is your goal here? That's what I want to know. What's the end game? Anybody?
Yeah, don't know, Cappy. I have no idea. But anyway, it's basically on all the news channels at the moment. So, but yeah, they're driving through Inglewood. They're still on Prairie. Looks like heading west. So
I'm way behind you.
Yeah. But yeah, they're going through
That's not
intersections. Going through red lights. Yes, Lord, nothing changes around here. He's still,
Well, it's just
he's
the
still
way it
like
works.
30, 40 seconds behind.
I just didn't hear that KTLA.
By the way, Queen, what are you eating right now? Because I see you on YouTube, and I see you got that big bowl of whatever you got next to you. It looked pretty damn good.
It is good. I haven't had pasta in a long time, and hopefully I don't butcher his name, but I think it's Jonathan, our part of our new team. I offered everybody some food, and he goes, "I've never had Lazy Dog." And I was like, "Oh, okay, man."
Oh,
So
Lazy
let's
Dog
get
are my
some Lazy
people.
Dog.
Lazy Dog are my people. And I mentioned this, George, while you were not here yesterday. I think
mentioned
you were
it
on the
while I
air.
was here
Yeah,
yesterday,
you were on the air yesterday with us. I got to give those guys a big shout out, seriously. And the reason I want to shout them out is because apparently, and I don't know what the story is with all the restaurants in LA Live. I go to Lazy Dog a lot. They were welcoming in all these firefighters, and they were feeding them. And there was no check sent to the table. There was no tip needed. They were just taking care of these guys. And my favorite part was one of the bartenders telling me, we feel like we're doing our part to help them. And I thought that was so cool, man. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah, for sure. So, Cappy, let's talk some football here. All right. What do you actually make of the Rams' chances this weekend? Dr. Clapper asked you. You said, yes, they've got a shot. Why do they have a shot this weekend?
I think that the Rams have a shot because of something Coach McVay said earlier today on the show, that when you get humbled, you have to sort of regroup. And I think Coach said that when they lost to the Eagles, they were 5-6 at that point. And then after that, they went on a run. So, getting smacked down by a team could reset you in some ways, especially when you're home and you're playing against a team that a lot of people think is one of the Super Bowl contenders in the conference. So that's my first part, that they did get smacked down, they did get humbled, and they can go back and watch that film. That's kind of my first part. The second part is something else Coach McVay said. Can't put the ball on the ground. Kyron Williams fumbled twice in that game. Once he lost it, once it was recovered. Stafford was sacked and was stripped, but the Rams recovered. So that offensive line knows they got to do a better job of protecting Matthew Stafford. So I think on the other side, George, when you're the defense, which has been showing so many signs of improvement and these young kids coming out with all this energy, they got 9 sacks against Sam Darnold last week. They had 1 sack against Jalen Hurts in Week 12 because they got smoked by Saquon Barkley. 255 yards rushing.
Oh, yeah, he dominated that game.
He put up almost another 50 yards in the passing game, and they know that the Eagles that day, they did not have their number 2. Some people would call him a 1A wide receiver. So they were down a man, one of their most productive players, and they still crushed the Rams. So I feel like if you're a team that's gotten beaten up badly by another team and you've got a great coach like Sean McVay, you're going to make every adjustment that you need to make so that Saquon doesn't have 255 against you, so that A.J. Brown doesn't have 100 yards receiving against you, that you're not fumbling the ball, that you're protecting your quarterback. So everything that went wrong, I expect them to fix. And that's why I think they got a real shot.
Okay. I think they have – I would agree with a lot of that assessment. I just think that the Eagles' offensive and defensive line is more experienced, is potentially more dangerous. And I think that is a big reason as to why the Eagles are the favorite in this game, because it allows them to get the ball to those skill position players. And they can play a lot of different ways offensively. So I think that becomes a big challenge. Now, DeAndre, and again, I've given them a puncher's chance because I do think I give McVay the coaching edge in this scenario. Nick Sirianni, to me, I'm not a huge fan, let's just say. So, but DeAndre, you are an Eagles fan. Like, I'm going to ask you this. Why will the Eagles win? And if the Eagles do lose, what do you think will be the main culprit?
I believe the Eagles will win because of how loaded they are on both sides of the field. I know everyone's been talking about the offense and Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and obviously we have a tight end who's really good as well, who missed that Rams game as well, and he is a key piece of the Eagles' offense. But the Eagles have been top 5 in defense and as far as rush yards given up and in the passing game. Vic Fangio has done a great job of making adjustments as far as the defensive end. I know that we have one of our core linebackers that are out, but when you have a all-pro and a veteran cornerback in Darius Slay and you got a veteran strong safety and that defensive line is a force to be reckoned with, Jalen Carter leading that front. I mean, it's just better at both ends on both sides of the field. And the only thing that I would say that will give the Rams a slight edge is that everyone's been mentioning as far as the adjustments. How is Coach McVay going to make adjustments? And I give him all the credit because he is a better coach against Nick Sirianni. And the only thing I fear is how the Eagles are going to make adjustments because obviously that passing game was a struggle with Jalen Hurts. But the thing is that everyone's complaining about the passing game, how he can't get the passing game right. But the thing that the Eagles have the advantage of is that running back in Saquon Barkley and that O-line. Jordan Mailata was out, another key player that was out against that Rams game in Week 12. So the Eagles just have a strong front in that O-line as well. So, I mean, you got too many weapons on that field, and I feel like for the Rams, and that's a lot to contain.
Wait a second. Here's something else. Here's another negative against the Rams. You ready? Not only did they play a home game in Arizona, so they had to move everybody to Arizona. Then they had to bring everybody back. Now they go into a week of practice. Then they've got to travel cross country, which is always hard when you go from west to east. But wait a second. Not only are you going into an extremely hostile environment, you're also going into weather that is predicted. They say the game's at 3 o'clock. The snow is supposed to start falling at 2:30 in the afternoon as it's predicted on Sunday. So hostile
Which is
environment.
30 minutes before kickoff time, right? Yeah.
Cold and snow coming. So when it's a snow game, it's going to turn into, in all likelihood, a running game, advantage Philadelphia. So there's another negative.
Yeah, you would think, although Kyron Williams and the Rams have been a good run team. But yes, again, the chips are stacked against them. I don't think there's any question. It would be an upset for sure. I mean, they're 5-6 point dogs in this game. So Philly is definitely the betting favorite by a decent margin. So,
but George, here's the thing. We can sit here all day long, and DeAndre can tell us about, this player wasn't available. And DeAndre, were you talking about Dallas Goedert? Is that who you're talking about?
Correct, yeah.
He did play in the game. He did play. I mean, he had 4 catches for 19 yards. I don't know if he got hurt in the game.
I think he went out early that game.
Okay, so look, here's the thing. We can sit here and break down defensive line versus offensive line. We can break down QB versus QB, running game versus running game. This is a game about the human spirit. George?
I love how you just phrased that.
George?
Yeah.
I'm about to get sappy on you.
Oh, I get it.
This is a game about what's inside. This is a game about heart. This is a game about who wants it more, who needs it more, and who is going to put their city on their back. This is a game about U.S. us, those 2 little letters, W-E, we, to quote my favorite coach of all time, Marty Schottenheimer, okay? This is a game about the human spirit. And the Rams know that they are the team of L.A., that at this time, when this city needs it as desperately as it does, they're the team that's carrying the hopes and the dreams of Los Angeles on their backs, in their hearts. This is a game about the human spirit, and that, my friend, that is the advantage to the Rams.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Is anybody buying what I'm selling?
I think ultimately that's a good thing to lean on going into the game. I think that once the game kicks off, that stuff kind of goes out the window and will only resurface if it's if they're victorious. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's one other little side note. One thing that the Rams cannot do, you have to score when given the opportunity, meaning they missed a field goal in that game that would have put them in a really good spot to possibly be competitive in that game. Right. Every time you get a chance to score, you got to score. And remember, just philosophically speaking, you're on the road in the playoffs. If you are inside the red zone, you never kick the field goal unless it's to go ahead. You always go for the touchdown. You don't kick field goals.
I agree with that. See, I like that. If you would have just led with that instead of just score when you can score. I mean, score when you can score seems fairly obvious. But then what you did, Cappy, is you went and said, no. You gave me good specific stuff like the red zone. So now I'm intrigued by your commentary.
Yeah. Listen, if I'll say this. If the Rams kick any field goals under 40 yards, unless it's a game winner, I don't like it. You go for it. Yeah, you got to go for it. When you're on the road and you're playing against a team that is probably on paper better, this is it. It's do or die. So there's no
take
reason.
Some chances.
Exactly. You can't.
But I think early on, I think Sean will be more measured. I think as the game goes on, he'll take more chances. So, Cappy, in the meantime, Dan Orlovsky today on First Take was asked about the Rams' chances, and he thinks that they are going to be a nuisance for the Eagles.
I do. I think they're the most dangerous team left in the NFC. Okay, all right, who in the NFC has a coach who's led their team to the Super Bowl and won it? Sean McVay. Who in the NFC has a quarterback that's gone to the Super Bowl and won it?
Okay.
The Rams. What team in the NFC has a quarterback that has had one of the most clutch playoff runs in the history of the NFL? The Rams with Matthew Stafford. In the playoffs with Stafford, he's 5-1 together with Sean McVay. 5-1, 70% completion percentage, a passer rating of 111, 18 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's a killer in the playoffs. Okay, then you go to Kyren Williams. Kyren's a walking touchdown. When he's on the field, all he does is score touchdowns. He's a walking touchdown. This defense, after last year, and this is said with the endless amount of admiration, last year with Aaron Donald, who's one of the greatest defensive linemen in the history of the NFL, they gave up 401 points. They had 15 takeaways and 44 sacks. This year, without Aaron Donald, this defense has given up 395 points. That's less than last year. They've gotten 22 takeaways. That's more than last year. And they've gotten 47 sacks. So we're talking about a defense that is a better unit this year than they were last year. They got a quarterback and coach that have done it. And I'm just telling everybody, I love Philadelphia. I think they're a fantastic football team. That quarterback and coach will walk into that building and saying, you got to come get us. We do not have to go beat you. You got to beat us. We've been there and done that. And that's why I think they're dangerous, because they're confident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree that if they go in there, if the Rams go in there and punch first, to what you were kind of alluding to as well, Cappy, if they go in there and punch first, then all of a sudden the Eagles, the pressure starts to mount on the Eagles in that scenario. When you're the road team and you go into a fairly heavily favored team's house and you strike first, you start to put a little bit of pressure on them, and then they start to hear about it starts to creep in their head a little bit about, oh, they've been talking about the distractions and A.J. Brown in the book and all this stuff. Doubt starts to creep in little by little the longer the game goes where they're trailing. So the key is definitely to jump and again, this is going to sound elementary too, but to get ahead early, or at least stay within striking distance early, where you can then create doubt in their head.
Let me talk about two things. First and foremost, one that Orlovsky talked about, and then one that you just talked about. As far as Kyren Williams goes, he had a great year. He had over 300 carries. He had around 1,400 yards for the season. The guy, maybe it was 1,300. The guy had a great year, 14 touchdowns. The only thing I would say to Dan Orlovsky is, Kyren Williams this year had 5 fumbles. 3 of them were lost. 2 of those fumbles happened against the Eagles. 1 of those fumbles that was lost happened against the Eagles. One thing I would say is Kyren Williams, he scores a lot of touchdowns, cannot put the ball on the ground. And he did it twice against the Eagles. That's the first thing. George, you mentioned the book. Everybody's talking about this book it was A.J. Brown that was reading the book on the field, right? Like on the bench. Now, have you read anything about this book?
No, I have not.
Okay. I can't remember what the name of the book is. DeAndre. Inner Excellence. I read this whole story about the author of Inner Excellence. This guy was a career minor league baseball player, and nothing was going right in his baseball career. And I'm paraphrasing, but this is how I remember reading about it. The guy kind of like moves out into like Nowheresville, and he's completely flat broke, and he's just trying to work on himself and trying to figure out, like, why is it that I wasn't able to, find this excellence? And really what he was saying is that when people are in stress situations, rather than being, like, mentally strong, it's about your heart, and it's about, like, knowing that you can handle the situation. And so this Inner Excellence was a book that was written and published a long time ago. And there were a couple of people that were using it. There were a couple of people in the golf world that had found out about it, and he kind of coached some of these golf guys. And all of a sudden, because A.J. Brown was on the sideline reading this book that had been published years ago that no one ever really talked about, it has gone completely viral. Everybody's buying the book on Amazon. I haven't yet, but I'm like, I kind of think I want to buy it and read it. So
you should.
I'm all for it. And maybe in the middle of a broadcast, I'll just start reading the book. Just like A.J. Brown in the game. He wanted to calm down. He wanted to be in the moment. He wanted to take lessons from the book.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that in the middle of a Sedano and Cap show. Inner Excellence.
That'd be great. You know what else would be great is we help people, Cappy.
Mm-hmm.
We help people in need at the moment, and certainly L.A. is hurting, as we've talked about a lot. And, you mentioned the mental – what was it you called it for the Rams, them trying to win the what?
Them trying to win the – well, I was
winning
saying –
this game because it's the human will, right? Is what you described.
The human will, George.
Right. The reason
this is a game of human will.
Well, listen, it certainly didn't – it helped the city a little bit for sure for the distraction of them winning the other day. But we need more help, certainly. And if you're able, please donate to the Red Cross, okay? Help the people affected by the California wildfires. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN. That's redcross.org/ESPN.
DeAndre, what's the name of the book? I'm looking it up right now. What's the name of it?
I believe it's called Inner Excellence.
Inner Excellence.
Are you going to get it?
Jim Murphy is the author.
I'm not going to get it now.
Why not?
I mean, because, I don't know. I'm not going
to. If one of your favorite players is using the book, why wouldn't you at least take a shot with the book?
I mean, I'll purchase it. I don't got no problem. I'll read.
When I was reading this article, it was in The Athletic, one of the guys who read the book and got a lot out of the book was telling the story that he has like a stack of them in his office, and he uses them as giveaways. He's constantly handing them out to people. DeAndre, I think I may get you the book.
There you go.
Let's do it, Captain. Let's do it.
Okay, then we can read it. We can have a book club meeting.
I'm down.
George, can you imagine me
over
and DeAndre?
under of him actually reading the book? Cabby.
I actually will read it. Yeah, I'm
Cabby, I don't know.
No, I just got done reading. Okay, you ready? Everybody go around the room here. Last book you read. Go ahead.
I reread a book, The Alchemist. I always reread it at the top, the beginning of the year.
The Alchemist.
I don't got time, bro. Yeah. I'm on cleantheglass.com too much, or the collegefootballpressbox.com to be reading the Inner Excellence at the moment. But maybe in the summertime I'll read it. How about
What's
that?
The Alchemist?
What's The Alchemist?
Yeah, that's the book that Laura just said she read.
Yeah, that's like Rob Pelinka's favorite book.
Is it?
He used to reference it all the time.
What is it, Laura?
So for me,
it's a novel.
It's a novel, but it based on because actually Briones gave me that book years ago when we were in college. He goes, "You need this." He's like, "Just pay attention." And I was like, "Okay." So every year, because I get something out of it, it is a novel, but I use it more of like I feel like it like gives you perspective. Like if you really think about it, it gives you a different perspective. Every year that I read it, I'm like, oh, even though it's the same book, I get something different out of it.
Yeah, basically the story is like a young guy
No,
goes
let him read
and
it.
tries. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I'm busy reading Inner Excellence right now.
You haven't started.
Well, I'm going to buy it.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
DeAndre, have you read a book recently?
Not recently, but the last book I read, I actually read Marcellus Wiley's autobiography, The Never Shut Up.
Oh, really?
It was a really good book. Talking about his upbringing, his life, and his playing in college in Columbia, and it was pretty good.
Interesting.
Did he talk about working here?
He did not mention that.
Really? Maybe
Damn, dog, for real, that dude?
Come on, man. Come on, man, for real. Last book I read, I just read it.
See, and all y'all, I love Marcellus too, but see, y'all like, bring back and Max and Marcellus. He didn't even mention y'all in the book. How about that?
Wow.
If I wrote a book, I'd at least mention you.
Give a little mention, like in the preamble, or are we talking about like
I mentioned the Circle of Trust. How about that?
How lovely is that? I just found a book in my garage the other day called The Lone Survivor, which was Marcus Luttrell and what happened in when these Navy SEALs were in, I think, Afghanistan, and every one of the SEALs were lost other than Luttrell himself, and there was a movie written about it. So I'm going to start rereading that. I just gave my son a book called The Art of Not Giving an F, which I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that book. I just read a book. I just finished a book called Software as a Science, which is all about the business of the world of software and how you actually make money when you have a software company, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I'm I don't know, The Alchemist and The Inner Excellence. I gotta get into these books.
The Alchemist.
The Alchemist is a pretty old book.
It is a very old book, and it's it like resurfaces every so often, and people kind of get hyped on it.
Yeah, it's like 30 years old.
Yeah, it's super old, but it's because I don't know if Beto is coming at me. No puedo decir because it doesn't say me. It says she didn't read it. So, like, I did read it. It's about following your dreams and stuff like that, and kind of seeing the purpose of life.
Here's what the Inner Excellence.
Beto, no manches, yeah.
Come on,
He's
Beto.
always, and it's fine, whatever.
This book, Inner Excellence. Here's the 4 key components to the book. Do the best with what you have each day. That's number 1. Number 2, be present. Number 3, be grateful. And number 4, be focused on routines and what you can control. That's what Inner Excellence is apparently like. Those are the
don't
pillars
worry about
of the
things
book.
you can't control, bro.
Right. And there's A.J. Brown reading that stuff on the sideline of a game. And by the way, the book all of a sudden from 5 people read it to now all of a sudden 5 million people are ordering it.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown should get a piece of that.
Only
actually.
5 people read it, but I mean.
All right, maybe 10.
I'm sure more than 5 actually read it. So
Not that many more. You'd be surprised.
I can lend you my copy of The Alchemist. I have like 3 because one, I write a lot on, like, I write on books. I like physical books. Yeah. So I always have to have like a clean one.
Oh, really? Yeah. I like to write notes in the books too.
Yeah, I love that.
Cappy likes to take notes about his prize picks in those books. That's what he's really doing.
Well, I'll tell you this
prize
right now,
picks,
George.
By the way, Cappy. Yeah, what do you got on prize picks?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm watching Cleveland, Oklahoma City. Okay.
And OKC is just destroying them.
Just crushing them right now. 59-41 is what I have. I'm probably behind you.
No, you got it. Now, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the free throw line already?
He is. There's 4:15 to go.
Look at you, Cappy. For whatever reason, TNT is okay.
Yep. So I'm already playing this game on Prize Picks. Here's what I've got tonight. First of all, download the Prize Picks app. Use our code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Make a $5 play. Get a $50 bonus. George, I've got Aaron Wiggins tonight.
You do. What is he doing for you tonight?
Well, I have him for more than 1.5 assists, and it's a demon play, which means my odds go up.
Yeah.
He's got 1 assist. I need him to get 1 more.
Yeah, maybe 1 more.
I've got Jared Allen. I've got him to have more than 13.5 points. He right now has 6. I've got Darius Garland to have more than 26.5 points and assists. He currently has 14. And in another game, I've got Cade Cunningham, who has to get 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I've got him at 14 points right now. So I'm playing a ton of NBA as we speak, and I'm getting ready for the playoffs this weekend.
I love it, Cappy, and it's, again, download the app, use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $50 bonus comes with your first $5 play. It's the only place to get sports action in the state of California, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money, bro. That's not even a joke. And by the way, when you win that money, you can get it as quick as 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app, use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y, get that bonus. Prize Picks, run your game.
At 877-710-ESPN, you're going to enjoy the rivalry matchup, Lakers-Celtics at Cosm LA. You'll enjoy immersive games in the Dome and the wall-to-wall multi-view display in the Hall at Cosm, the ultimate home for basketball fans. Get your tickets now through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. Or you can win them right now. Caller number 7, 877-710-ESPN wins on a Cosm Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
And make plans to join Mason and Ireland on Wednesday, January 22nd, live from Ralph's in Redondo Beach, as we team up with BBGO to support the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank's relief efforts for victims of the Southern California wildfires. More details to come Wednesday, January 22nd from noon to 3. Join Mason and Ireland at the Ralph's in Redondo Beach. Make sure you're there.
Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, crowd rocking for Rotolo Chevrolet's top hitter, Mike Capozio. He's facing off with the Bulldog, and these two have quite the history. Here's the pitch. Oh, he got all of it. That ball is out of here like a red Corvette, and it's going and going and going. Yes!
Dad, are you having that dream again?
Come see what the fun is all about at Rotolo Chevrolet.
Going through a life change, whether you're downsizing, you've inherited a home, or you're just ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN. It's 6:30 p.m. Big deal or no deal. Take it away, Sedano.
Thanks, Christopher. All right, Laura, you take it away.
Is it really 6:30, by the way?
No, cinco.
No, it's the old rejoin.
What the hell, man?
You know what? I gotta, we gotta upgrade these rejoins.
Oh, damn, DeAndre, I like it.
Had to, man. We gotta upgrade them, man.
Yeah. Thank you, DeAndre. You should call it out.
I mean, I've been calling Chris for the last 2 days. Yo, man, you good? Yo, man, you straight? What's up? And
he's a little stressed right now.
Yeah, we need to get him back to doing what he was doing. We got to get him back to all the imaging and all the fun and frivolity. Get him back to being part of the Daily Show where
he's a suit.
He's gone management on us.
He's got corporate stench.
I didn't go that far. No, don't come at me, Chris.
No, but I can.
Yeah,
no,
tú
George,
sí, yo no.
No, he ain't going to come at George.
No, that's what I'm saying. George can do all that.
You best not come at what is it? You best not come at the king, or what is it? What is the saying? I'm trying to remember now.
So you said that you were hungry, right? I'm totally going to bring this up.
I'm starving right now.
And I had like this chicken parmesan from Lisa.
If you come at the king, you best not miss. That's what it is, yeah.
It's so heavy that I'm like,
if you come at the king, Christopher, you best not miss.
I thought you were going to give us if you mess with the bull, you're going to get the horns.
Oh, yeah. No, I guess there's that one, too.
Little Breakfast Club action for you.
Yeah. Que hambre tengo, capi. All right, Laura, what do you got?
All right. Okay, well, while George thinks of what he's going to eat for dinner, I noticed that the iconic Home Alone mansion was officially sold, and it sold for $5.5 million.
Wow.
I want to know, do you guys think it's a big deal or no deal that these, TV or film houses...
Yeah, what did the Brady Bunch house go for a couple years ago? I remember that got sold not that long ago.
I will Google it. But do you guys think it's a big deal or no deal that they sell for well above what they're worth. Because this house is not worth.
Well, because it's the sentimental value. So I'm not surprised.
It's not even the same house. Like, it doesn't even look nothing like the Home
No,
Alone
of course.
house.
It's like a video of well, it's the house that they show in like a video. But right, it's not the actual house they actually filmed it in because that's like a studio set. But there was like a house that they would show like on like, the B-roll basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's that particular house. So, but there is some sentimental value to that if you really love the show. Like, I think that I could have sworn.
The
maybe I'm
Brady,
wrong about this.
shout out to DeAndre. He told me $3.2 million September 2023.
Right, in Studio City, right? Or Burbank or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a small little tiny place. And I want to say like the Golden Girls house also might have gone to at one point. So yeah, like I just think people love these shows and movies and things of that nature, and they got the money to spend and they do it.
The Brady Bunch house, though, would be a major disappointment. Like, if you pulled up to the Brady Bunch house and you saw the outside, you're like, oh, my God, cool, this is the Brady Bunch house. Then when you walk in, that was kind of a really cool house back in, like, the 70s and 80s because you walked through the door and then there was that, like, dip for the living room underneath. Then there was the dining room. Then there was that very cool-looking staircase. So if you walked into the Brady Bunch house and you're like, yo, where's the house? This doesn't look like the house to me. I wouldn't want to buy that. As far as the Home Alone mansion you said, Laura, where is that?
Winnetka, Illinois.
Okay, see, that's the other thing. Like, that is not...
They're in random places.
Well, I mean, they were supposed to be in Chicago in Home Alone, right? So I don't know where that is, and I don't know what the market is.
It's a suburb.
Are you telling me that the Home Alone house sold for $5.5 million, but the comps in the neighborhood are only $2.5 million? That somebody like way overpaid just because it was a Home Alone house, or is that what home values are there?
No. So like it sold for well over what it's worth. Like there was another one that I talked about on Mason, Ireland not too long ago that was going for a ridiculous amount. I think it was like 1 point something or 2 point something $1 million, but it was only valued at $350K.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's
just beauty's in the eye of the beholder. By the way, like if you ever watched like Beverly Hills 90210, they had that beach house like season or whatever. They were like living at this beach house. It's right there in the Strand in Hermosa Beach. Like you can see it, and you can actually rent that place, like to live there for a while or whatever. They rent it. They're not going to sell it, but people do. Anytime I'm in that area and I go by there like running or walking or biking or whatever, like I see people there. Like always people are there because they want to say I stayed at the 90210 beach house.
Right. And you remember the house in Top Gun where Kelly McGillis is there and then Tom Cruise shows up and he's like, hey, can I take a shower? Remember that one?
Yeah.
That house was like this little shack in a town called Oceanside that has really grown up with hotels and restaurants. And it's like a legendary place. And I think they moved it. Like I used to go by there all the time. Be like, hey, cool, the Top Gun house. Like I thought it was a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a big deal that people overpay for those houses. I personally would never do it.
Yeah, same. I mean, we're not surprised you would.
No, of course not. It's just
you don't overpay for anything.
Not in my DNA.
I mean, sometimes you don't even want to pay for anything.
No, I mean if they gave it to me for free, maybe.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
All right, D's gonna take one because he has an interesting one that I want him to share.
Okay.
So yesterday, after I got done doing career day at the middle school located in,
I saw that on your IG, bro.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. What a great experience. I went out to go eat with some friends out there that I have in Orange County, and we went to this spot called Vox Kitchen, located in Fountain Valley. It's an Asian fusion restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So after I got done eating, I went to the restroom real quick to wash my hands. And I saw that they had complimentary mouthwash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that a big deal or no deal? Because I've never seen that in a restaurant where they just.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
There's old school restaurants for sure have had that over the years.
I've never seen that either.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. I've seen that before. Like, you go to some old-timey restaurants, they'll have that. And I'm surprised they didn't even have, like, a bathroom attendant.
That's what I was going to say. Did they have a man in the men's room that would give you mints?
That's like at the club, bro. That's a club. Yeah, that's at the club.
Yeah, but that started as a restaurant thing first.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Dang.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I've seen the hairspray and all that stuff.
So DeAndre, did they have like a pump and then like a little paper cup?
They have the paper cup. You just pull the paper cup and then you just put it underneath and like it just dispenses by itself.
Yeah. I've seen it as a matter of fact, most recently when I was I went to have a meeting at a building in Beverly Hills, And there was in the bathroom of this office building, they had it like that, the paper cups and the dispenser where you would pump it into the cup. Yeah.
DeAndre, did you notice that after you ate at this Asian fusion restaurant, did you notice like, gosh, my breath smells like you know what?
A little bit, yeah, because certain dishes had like garlic and it had and
right.
onions.
So
and
that's
stuff,
so they're hooking you up. And do you know, was it like a green mouthwash? Did you pump it?
I did.
Was
It
like
was green mouthwash. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
blue?
No, it was green. It was green.
Oh, green. Okay, so we're probably looking at. I'm trying to think of the product that would be a green mouthwash. Is that like
Listerine?
Scope? No, Listerine different. Listerine got that
like minty green.
Listerine will kill anything that you got in your mouth, but Scope is more like just a little bit of hiding it. Listerine just kills everything you got.
Yeah.
Listerine's the best one.
No,
I need to get a little
that stuff's like
Listerine.
medicine, bro.
Yeah, I need to get.
You leave that in your mouth too long, it's gonna burn.
Oh yeah, big time. Burn the inside of your mouth.
I'm not even
That
joking.
purple one, that Total 6 is the best one.
Yeah.
All right, can I sneak in one more?
Yeah.
All right, so the NFL has opened a 49ers, Chiefs, and Steelers-themed KFC locations in Mexico. Is this a big deal or no deal?
So Chiefs, 49ers, and
Yeah,
who?
so it's a 49ers themed, separate Chiefs, and then another Steelers.
Wow.
KFC
Yeah.
locations in Mexico.
I knew the Steelers and Niners were big in Mexico, along
I
with
thought
the Cowboys.
the Cowboys and Raiders.
Yeah, I knew for sure the Steelers were one of the top ones. But the Chiefs one, I guess I'm not that surprised, right, because of Patrick Mahomes, right? But yeah, I think it's a big deal. That's cool, man. I mean, the NFL has found a nice little niche in Mexico for sure.
I must admit, with all respect to everybody, I'm not down with KFC anymore.
What? Let me tell you something. KFC looks so good in the commercial, though.
Well, on TV it looks great.
Oh my god, it looks so
on
good.
TV it looks amazing.
That mashed potato though still slaps.
Yeah, and listen, and the extra crispy looks bomb, and I actually love the bucket.
It's just
look
too much
of the
crispy,
chicken.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the whole
You gotta
notion
go
of fried chicken.
original recipe, bro.
I know, but there's so many places now that do fried chicken. Like,
No,
it's-
of course.
it's their
Yeah, but if
specialty.
you want something quick,
No, I just don't.
Quick
But
and
I don't
easy,
want
yes,
anything
though.
fried. I mean,
Oh.
and I try my best to avoid it. You know,
See.
so okay.
Don't they have grilled chicken there too now?
I don't know.
Think
They
I don't
do.
know.
Yeah.
But I will just say this: like, I have no willpower. So like, if I were to go to a Chick-fil-A, I'm like, I see that they got a grilled chicken, and I can easily do the grilled chicken, but I'm not going to do it.
Cappy, let me tell you something. You would have had a hard time resisting yesterday. So our green room in the Minnesota building is right next to the Warriors locker room. Okay, it's in between the Warriors and the T-Wolves locker room, but much closer to the Warriors. And they had the post-game spread out there as I was walking. I went to the bathroom like in the middle of the fourth quarter to be ready for whatever I needed to do post-game. And I walked by, and there was a lot of different foods, obviously there. But one of the foods was Chick-fil-A sandwiches in the little individual bag.
I can't resist
And
that.
I'm like, Cappy would have absolutely grabbed one of these and just kept moving.
One? Are you kidding me? I would have put one in my right pocket, one in my left pocket. I would have put one in my inner pocket on my left side, my right side. Because if they were there, I would have just taken them. Listen, I had a friend of mine who had a party, and he had Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
Oh, that's good, too.
And I'm like, I can't not eat these. And not one, several. I got no willpower.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that.
Yeah. All right, Cappy, that's big deal or no deal. We got Dealer's Choice coming up in a second. But first, guys, you got to call Jacob, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you get into an accident, I always tell you, call Jacob. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 send you. But our guy Jacob and Ronnie is very concerned about the impact these wildfires are having here in the Southland. The wildfires can leave lasting scars on our homes, our health, and our communities. If you've been injured or are dealing with damage to your property, you don't have to face this horrific situation alone. Just call Jacob, 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. When disaster strikes, your recovery shouldn't be a fight, man. Let Jacob and his team do the fighting for you and provide the representation that you deserve while getting you what you're owed. Jacob and his team, man, their thoughts and prayers are with all of you that are being affected by these wildfires, either directly or through friends or loved ones. So if you or someone you know has been injured or suffered property damage due to these wildfires, call Jacob for a free case review. It's that simple. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com. Jacob and his team are here to help, and together we will rebuild.
The Kings have shifted their focus to British Columbia as they look to get back on track against the reigning Pacific Division champion, Vancouver Canucks. The Kings have been the best defensive team in the NHL this season, but Captain Ajay Kopitar says they need to get back to scoring goals too.
It seems like last few games we've played, it's been, low-scoring affair. So, we got to make sure that we stick with the tight checking, but when we do get chances to find a way to score goals.
It's the Kings and the Canucks tonight at 7 on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming-LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming-LAX.
Hey, it's Bethel Duran. When you get into an auto collision and damage your vehicle, there's only one spot for you to call. That's my guy Leo at Active Collision. Experienced paint and body technicians will make your car look like it's brand new. You get a free estimate when you call 626-330-0100. They work with all insurance companies. Mention 710 and you get 50% off your insurance deductible. Call 626-330-0100, 626-330-0100, or visit activecollisionrepair.com.
It was a Cosm Ticket Thursday today at 710 ESPN. Congratulations to all the winners for getting a pair of tickets for the January 23rd Lakers-Celtics game at Cosm, where you can take the NBA to a new level where every play comes to life. If you want tickets, get tickets now at Cosm.com. Cosm.com, get your tickets now.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway, because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Final segment of the show. Great job, Queen, filling in today. Thank you so much. DeAndre, excellent work as always. The entire crew back there on the social team. Cappy, or Scott, as Sean McVay called you. We got one more segment to go, Jack, so let's get ready.
Oh. Kind of stepped on it. Kind of stepped on it. Oh, here's my boy Mateo on the YouTube show. Hi, Mateo.
What's wrong, bud? They're saying, no, does not scream. Let's not do that.
Mateo, you want me to go get you some of them donuts or what? You want me to bring you some donuts?
He can't hear you. Do you want some donuts?
Ask him.
No
Tell him.
donuts now, Cappy.
Tell him Uncle Cappy will bring him some donuts.
We're getting ready for dinner.
Cap,
really?
focus.
I just ate.
You just ate? What did you have?
Egg sandwich.
Egg sandwich for dinner.
That sounds
that's
good.
yummy.
Sounds
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
All right. You're even snorting now. Okay.
George, I'm forcing my son to get off. I'm getting off the air, and I'm forcing my son to go to the gym with me.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Not something he really wants to do,
Yeah.
but something I'm forcing him to do.
Oh, well, hey, listen, whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
I told him, I said, hey, the rules of moving home are
you got to do what Dad wants to do.
You got to go to the gym 5 days a week.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, yeah, he moved home, and I told him, I go, you got to go to the gym 5 days a week. And he told me that he thinks 5 is too many. And I said, well, hey, I go 7. He goes, well, that's way too many. He goes, so he made a deal with me that he'll go Monday through Friday, but he takes the weekend off. Saturday and Sunday, he takes the weekend off. This past weekend, me and Rachel were like, Justin, you want to come for a walk with us? Because we walk like 6-7 miles. About a mile into it, he's like, what's wrong with you guys? This is so boring. This is so lame. I'm like, dude, all these people out here exercising, all these nice-looking folks. Look at this amazing view. Look at the ocean. He's like, this sucks. Turned around, walked home.
Talk about telling you to bleep off.
I know.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't know, Cappy. I mean, he's a man of conviction. What are you going to say?
I know he is.
I mean, you were probably the same like back then. You didn't want to be walking with nobody down the street.
No, my dad and I used to go for runs, man. We used to work out together, and I got my son. Yeah, oh yeah, I got my son now. I'm getting him into a pattern where he works out every day, so that every time we ever visit, no matter where we are, no matter how old we are, hey, what are we doing first? We're going to the gym.
That's right. 5 days a week.
You know what I'm saying?
Get it in.
Speaking of a man of conviction, George, let me have 1 second to mention my friend Avner Gatt. So look, guys, obviously we all know what has happened here in the last couple of days, last week and a half. When disaster strikes, you deserve an ally who understands the value of your home and understands the value of your peace of mind. And if you are facing fire damage, despite your diligence when it comes to paying your insurance payments, your insurance company might fall short when it's time to file a claim. Do not let your insurance company underpay you. If you are feeling pressured to use subpar contractors, or if you are feeling ignored after years of loyalty, that's when you turn to Avner Gatt, California's premier public adjusting firm. Over 20 years of experience, Avner's team brings literally unparalleled industry expertise. They've worked with all of these different insurance companies, so they know everybody. They've got all the relationships. They offer a free initial consultation, and they boast a vast network of experts to accurately assess your damages. Trusted by lawyers, contractors, real estate professionals, Avner Gatt is ready to fight for you. So call for a free consultation today, avnergatt.com or 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt. Your claim is our game.
Cappy, what are you doing as your dealer's choice today?
So I want to mention something in Dealer's Choice. Dealer's Choice Real Deal brought to you by Seller's Advantage, 888-390-AS-IS, no obligation offer. You can visit sellersadvantage.com. Hey, George, today, Bob Uecker died.
I saw, man.
Bob Uecker.
Such a bummer.
Yeah, 90 years old. I mean, look.
I know. By the way, he was still doing games up until recently.
I know. Listen, here's the thing about Bob Uecker. Most people, I would say my age and younger, do not realize that Bob Uecker was a Major League Baseball player.
Correct.
The joke always was in all these commercials is that he was a former player, but he wasn't very good. Anybody who makes it to the major leagues is great.
Right. He won a World Series in 1964 with the Cardinals.
So Bob Uecker, though, was much, much, much more famous for being a commercial. Yeah, for being a commercial spokesperson.
Yeah, and he was also in Mr. Belvedere.
He was on TV shows. He was in movies. But yet, the entire time, he was the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers.
The entire time.
Which is weird.
Not the Cleveland Indians like in the movie.
Right. Yes. But isn't it weird? Like, if you were the voice of the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Cubs, like, I could understand becoming nationally famous. Like, decent ball player, but voice of the Brewers and super famous. And, I mean, like, a great actor. And when I say great actor, here's what I mean. Yeah. Like, you're a play-by-play guy. George, I pulled this commercial from 1984.
Right.
This is Bob Uecker, one of the most famous lines, must be in the front row. Here's Bob Uecker in a Miller Lite commercial circa 1984.
You know, one of the best things about being an ex-big leaguer is getting freebies to the game. Call the front office, bingo. And once these fans recognize me, I probably won't even have to pay for my light beer from Miller. Down it! I love them. These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh?
You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Oh, I must be in the front row.
Come on.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
I mean, How natural.
He missed the tag.
How
he
natural
was great. And
does
by the
Uecker
way,
sound?
he wasn't just the Milwaukee Brewers. He used to do network baseball stuff on NBC back in the day.
That is you're exactly right. So
with Costas and like Joe Morgan and
right.
those guys.
So it's amazing that he became so famous and yet had this what I'll call a small market job. You know what I mean? Just incredible. 90 years old. What a life. I'll sign up for that today. If I could get to 90, that would be incredible. Rest in peace to Bob Uecker, who most of us know not as a baseball player, not as a baseball broadcaster, as a corporate pitchman and as an actor. So rest in peace, Bob Uecker.
And he was great in the WWE too. I remember Andre the Giant almost fake choked him out one time. It was crazy. It was fun.
I must be in the front row. Every time I park and I get a great parking spot, I say, I must be in the front row. That's just lodged in my head. Bob Uecker.
Yeah. Cappy, I do want to get the next time Laura's on, I want her to talk about the year of the snake. It's the year of the snake this year.
Oh, it is?
I'm all
La
in.
serpiente. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the year the dragon's coming to an end, and year of the snake coming in.
And
rebirth, man.
And
next time Laura's back on, we'll talk about the year of the snake.
Okay, and speaking of numerology, you know that this year is 2025. What does that equal? 2025. Numerology.
Yeah, 45.
No, it equals 9.
Oh, I think you meant 20 plus 25.
Yeah, the 2025. And 9 has a lot of numeric symbolism. So, all right, there you go.
All right, we got to get out of here. Great job, DeAndre, Lauda, everybody, the circle. Cappy, we'll talk to you mañana. See ya.